Universe 7, Frieza's ship. After all the battles that took place between Goku and Vegeta against the enemies that appeared in Universe 7, Frieza surprised everyone by showing the transformation that surpassed the power of Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego, the Black Frieza form. The warrior who transcends the power of all is born, the tyrant of the cold race. Black Frieza appears. Frieza on his ship says, "It seems that all of you, my subordinates, are now seen the most powerful being in the universe. I had to train in another dimension to reach this level of strength. But I already knew that this would be possible. After all, since I was a little boy, I've always been a prodigy." The powers I showed, the skills I got, were totally incredible. Even for my race, everyone who appeared there and who had great energy could not overcome my powers. My own father believed in me too much. He knew I would be king of my entire race. But I always knew that because we're all crafty, we couldn't trust anyone. So I decided to go my own way. About my race, I'll get into that later. But when I became an emperor of the universe, I knew that the future still held out for me to become a god. I always believed that I would be superior to everything until those damn Saiyans came along. When they appeared, they left me very furious and very angry. A rumor of the legendary Super Saiyan who could wipe out anything or anyone, and that they were the most powerful race in the universe, made me sick. That would be a shame, because I, as Emperor of the universe, would have to be the most powerful thing. Beerus, the god of destruction, trusted me. He said that the more planets I destroyed, the more I freed him from having to do his job. So I could never accept those Saiyans believed that he could become my powers. Until the day that damn Bardock, before being eliminated, spoke about Goku. Time went by and the battle happened that Goku turned into a Super Saiyan. The only reason he beat me in that fight was that I was born with these powers, so I never thought I should train. But the world ends up changing. Soon after I was brought back to life, but I still reached my golden form. I should have trained more. Turns out, those Saiyans have been training for years. I seem to have already decided that my race will indeed be the rival. But now, after having trained her in the empty dimension, it seems that my powers have become gigantically greater. I feel like no one could ever defeat me. Looks like it's time for me to start acting. It's time to put my plan into action. At that moment, Frieza's subordinate looks on and says, "Great Majesty Frieza, does that mean then that the relocation plan will start now? I confess that I'm very anxious for you to make all your dreams come true. I knew you could do amazing things. We always waited for you here. I'm sure now begins his reign over the entire universe. We will make your Majesty actually become the Emperor, or maybe even a god. Let's get Zeno-sama's powers. Our Great Majesty is incredible. We've been waiting for a long time for this moment." Frieza closes his face a little and says, "Shut up. At no point did I ask for your opinion. I need to think very carefully how we're going to act. For a long time, I was thinking that I could become happier if I become mortal, or thinking about the wish I should ask for the Dragon Balls. The time went by and I realized that maybe that wasn't all that mattered. Perhaps there were some more important things within that subject, but in the end, I managed to reach my goal. I want to be the one who transcends everything and transcends everyone. But before that, I can't forget those who have already brought me to big heartache. Saiyans and Earthlings. I still have matters to attend to with you. I will teach each of you a lesson, and then I will start my plan." What will Frieza's plan be? What does Frieza really want to show? The Emperor of the universe, the one who never gives up and has the potential of the most powerful warrior, appears. At one point, we said that maybe there was a being even more powerful than Frieza, and that being was not about Goku. Planet Beerus. Goku, using his Ultra Instinct alongside Vegeta with his Ultra Ego, continue to carry out their training. At that time, Goku begins to show great abilities. Beerus watches Goku and Vegeta training him. He felt that something catastrophic was yet to happen. The battle is getting more and more intriguing. Goku says, Vegeta, we need to get a lot stronger. It seems that no matter how much we train, there are always powerful guys. You've seen the power of Granola and the power of Gas himself. We've been through some bad times, but I know that we will be able to show even better performance. I'm sure once I master all the 100% of Ultra Instinct, I'll be able to achieve a whole new transformation. Vegeta watches and speaks. Don't get so cocky, Kakarot. I will still be able to show skills much more powerful than you. I'm the Prince of all Saiyans. My Ultra Ego was about to defeat those guys, but I had just learned this transformation and I'm still learning how to deal with it. Maybe we should do another type of training. I feel that at any moment a powerful enemy can appear to invade our universe. At that moment, Beerus observes everything. Whis looks and talks. It seems like that Mr. Goku and Mr. Vegeta never get tired of training. They really want to get stronger so they can bring balance to Universe 7. After all, we need powerful warriors. If we stop to analyze and see everything that ended up happening, we can already understand that the battles can get more and more complex. We don't know who will be the next enemy, who will want to end everything. They are really very interesting points for us to analyze, but we still need to think, what will await us? During these times, Beerus observes and speaks. It seems that this Universe 7 always comes into conflict. At any moment we can expect a new threat because we wouldn't know what the difference between good would be if there were no evil, would we? So these are things that should happen. Planet being destroyed, others being created, some wanting to kill and others fighting for life. That's how things work. At that moment, Frieza's ship lands on a planet Beerus. Beerus looks at Frieza. Whis smiles and Vegeta makes an angry face. Goku just watches. Frieza in his normal transformation says, Wow. Forgive me, Lord Beerus, for entering your planet like this, especially without your permission. Beerus gets serious and says, Do you want to get a race now? Why did you come here for? I did not authorize you to enter this place. Whis, Vegeta, and Beerus look at Frieza with a questioning expression. What does Frieza want here? At that moment, Goku says, Cool, if you want to fight, know that we won't go easy on you. Even though you've shown that new power, we're going to resolve this situation right now, whatever the cost. At that moment, Frieza smiles at Goku and says, Oh, don't be like that, you pathetic fool. I just want to invite you. Come train with me in the same galaxy where I trained. There, time passes very slowly, and I can torture you endlessly. There's a little similar to that time chamber you have in Kami-sama's time, but the training, I assure you, is much more arduous. I am not a threat to you today. I am not the threat to you today. If yet, I would have also attacked you by now. I have other plans. Accept and come with me, Goku. If you want, you can come with me too, Vegeta. At that moment, Vegeta says, I would never go anywhere with you, you damn worm! Kakarot is not crazy to accept something from you! You're the last person on Earth we would ever trust! You destroyed our planet! Trying to kill everyone! Who do you think you are, Frieza? Don't think that just because you fought in the Tournament of Power we have forgotten the barbarities you committed! I'll finish you off now, and right here! At that moment, Goku watches and speaks. Oh, no, Vegeta, let's keep Frieza a vote of confidence. Well, Frieza, I'll go with you. I really want to see how far your power can reach. Everyone looks and says, Goku, you must be crazy. At that moment, Frieza smiles and says, Well done, Goku. You will really like what you'll see. Frieza activates his black form. At that moment, Whis and Beerus are impressed. Beerus is shocked and says, What? He even managed to get stronger. Does this guy really still want to take my God of Destruction place? Don't think it will be that easy, Frieza. I'll erase you from existence right now. Frieza watches and speaks. You don't need to worry about that, Lord Beerus. Just like I said, my objectives are different now. I have no problems with you. It's okay. Please. No, I don't have any problems with you. It's okay. Please, relax. At that moment, Vegeta is watching Goku. Frieza and Goku leave planet Beerus. Vegeta doesn't trust Frieza. Whis says, "Calm down now, Mr. Vegeta. You are here. If Frieza plans something against Mr. Goku, you already know that you will get much stronger to solve it." Empty galaxy. Goku and Frieza land in the empty galaxy. Goku says, "Frieza, this place looks a lot like the time chamber. It's much darker here. So it's very interesting. So, does that mean that the two of us are going to fight now to start our training? So, okay, let's start." At that moment, Frieza smiles and says, "Good Goku, you fool. Stay here for a while. I'll come back later to check how things are going. I have unfinished business on other planets to resolve." Goku says, "What, Frieza? Are you going to arrest me here? You damn thing! You never get it right! I'll come back and get you!" Frieza laughs and speaks, "It's no use! I'll be back soon. Or maybe I'll forget to come back. See you later or never, Son Goku." Black Frieza traps Goku in the empty dimension. No one expected this one, or in fact, everyone already expected it. Goku was tricked once again by Frieza. Goku in the empty dimension says, "I can't believe Frieza left me here. This place is totally different from the time chamber. In the time chamber, I would be able to create a barrier or a portal and I would be able to get out of it. But this dimension is totally different. I don't even know what galaxy this is. I can't feel any energy or any other being. Damn it, Frieza! I promised if I get out of here, I'll finish you off once and for all! I'll never accept what's happening again!" At that moment, Goku is trying to understand what he will do in the face of everything that had happened. Once again, Goku was tricked by Frieza. Universe 7, Frieza's ship. Frieza talks to his subordinates. "It seems that these Saiyans, especially Goku, what he has the strength he has in stupidity. No matter how many times I say it, his naivety is too great. But he was very lucky that at this moment I don't want to end him. I have some plans that will go far beyond all that. First, I needed Goku, now also Shenron. But I don't want to take his body after all my power is increasing more and more. But there's one thing I still need to do." At that moment, everyone wonders what Frieza's true goal is. What does Frieza really want to do? Goku is days inside the empty dimension. Goku starts to get hungry. Days and days go by. Goku decides to start his training. Even his beard starts to grow. Goku is in a critical situation. At that moment when Goku was all blown up, Frieza appears again in the empty dimension and says, "Oh my, you're in a deplorable state, Goku. I should have guessed that the Saiyans don't seem to think. They are just mindless animals, monkeys that think only of fighting. They don't use any intelligence. This is totally surreal." At that time, Goku watches and says, "Frieza, you scoundrel! I'm going to finish you off now! Frieza, you scoundrel! I'll finish you off now!" Goku activates his Ultra Instinct, but in a short instant, Frieza activates his black form and hits him with a punch. Goku with his Ultra Instinct can't fight Frieza. Frieza's powers are much greater. At that moment, Frieza smiles and says, "Calm down. At least now I have no intention of killing you. I just invited you here to train. Don't you want to get stronger? I said maybe I'd come back, and I came back. I'm here. So let me introduce you to a little bit of the empty dimension. Just know that you are not the only being existing in this dimension." Goku questions and says, "What are you talking about, Frieza? What do you mean by that? I am not the only one here in this dimension? Doesn't make any sense." At that moment, Frieza says, "Right after the Tournament of Power ended, there were some mortals, mainly from Universe 11, who made me go through a lot of embarrassing situations. My anger towards those mortals managed to be even greater than all the anger I had towards the Saiyans. After all, the Saiyans never heard my fighting spirit. But by the way, those warriors from Universe 11 completely disrespected rejected me. These beings thought they were far superior to me, the Emperor of the Universe. I'm going to solve a situation with them. But first, all I need to know is if I'm in the level of a god of destruction. I will have to visit Beerus again. I'll ask for a little battle and let him test my powers. Many things will happen, just know that, Son Goku. I have many plans to be carried out. A tyrant's revenge can never be simple revenge. I still need to accomplish many interesting things. Do you understand, monkey?
Goku watches and speaks. What do you want to do, Frieza? What is your real goal? Why do you want me to train here? I cannot understand you. Frieza laughs and says,
You see, Goku, if you don't know, before I met him, he had never been defeated by anyone. I believed that I was the most powerful being in the universe. I had never had some kind of training. I always showed great skills and latent power until the moment you Saiyans came along. I always knew they would cause me big trouble. You, right after fighting the beings of my army, you came to me. The moment you fought with me, things were more complicated. At first, I had a lot more power than you. Until a moment I didn't understand how you managed to transform into a Super Saiyan. Soon after I had to fight against Vegeta's son that I eliminated, and everything that happened ended up showing a much better performance. I really couldn't wait to get powerful. My thirst for revenge made me do things without thinking. But that was it. That's what you showed me without realizing it. At first, I couldn't understand it well. But now, I see it more clearly. What I really want was to get stronger. There was a need for you to show a different performance. All the times I saw you getting stronger, I couldn't see that my body still managed to raise my energy even more. In this way, I achieved my Black Frieza form by humbling all the powers of higher instinct and ultra ego. Have you ever wondered at what moment will you become stronger than Beerus? Isn't it strange to imagine that there are beings in the world superior to you? I don't know if you've noticed this, but all this revolution will start now. Well, Goku. I hope you know that within this empty dimension there are many powerful beings. I don't know her completely myself, so your task will be to find out what lies in the depths of the unknown dimension. I got to fight some beings here before. In several moments I thought I was going to die until the moment my strength was the least. At that time, I discovered that I would really get stronger. When I thought I had beaten them, they came back. There are rumors that there are beings superior to the gods of destruction here. And if any of them escaped, the entire universe would be destroyed. So I hope you know how to deal with that as time goes and things will get even more complicated for you.
Goku is shocked and speaks. Hey, Frieza! Will you leave me here again? Stop it, Frieza! Don't leave me here! At that moment, Frieza again starts to laugh and leaves the empty dimension. Planet Beerus. Beerus, Whis, and Vegeta keep wondering what was going on with Goku. Days had passed and no sign of the Saiyan. Vegeta speaks. These guys can only be kidding! How can Kakarot be so dumb as to trust Frieza one more time? Frieza will never be trusted! I can't imagine how this guy's so naive! Vegeta activates his Ultra Ego and says, I will be able to show the greatest performance against all beings that appear! I don't care what happens, Mr. Beerus! I want to learn the Suprema Kai technique! I won't accept that beings like Frieza keep showing up around here! Come on, Beerus! Let's start our training! At that moment, Whis observes and speaks. Look, before we start our training, Mr. Vegeta, we'll have to deal with someone who's been watching us around here. At that moment, Frieza in his black form appears. Vegeta speaks. Frieza, you worm! What are you doing here? Where's Kakarot? I knew he shouldn't trusted you, but enough! This will be the end of it! At the moment when Vegeta is going to attack Frieza, Vegeta is hurled away on the planet Beerus by Frieza himself. Frieza speaks.
Vegeta, don't be so inconvenient. I didn't come here to fight you. I came here just to make a wish for you. Mr. Beerus, grant me a fight just so I can test my powers.
At that moment, Whis laughs and Beerus gets angry and says, "Who do you think you are, you mediocre tyrant? Who do you think you're talking to? You will never be able to defeat me. What you did to Goku doesn't matter. If you want to fight me, I won't let it go. Know that you are defying the god of destruction of the Universe 7, and with that you will be eliminated." Frieza starts to laugh in a totally sly way and says,
Well done, Mr. Beerus. So let's start this battle. I confess that I want to test my powers and find out if in fact the god of destruction of Universe 7 is that powerful. You were always in my plans. I always thought about fighting you, but back then I knew our power distance was light years away. But it always remained my mind to dethrone the god of destruction. But know that I have no desire to be a god of destruction. After all, the gods of destruction are just mere doormats for the angels and Zeno-sama. I want to get to the top. After all, I am the true emperor.
At that moment, the planet Beerus begins to shake. Frieza is surprised by everything that has been shown. Vegeta is watching next to Whis. Enraged, Beerus says, "Now you managed to piss me off, Frieza! You will regret word for what you said! You will come to know the power of Beerus, the destroyer of Universe 7, and understand why Zeno-sama and the great priest entrusted me with this job!" Black Frieza continues to create several tricks to carry out his plan, which until now is a mystery. Black Frieza said that he wants to reign over everything and everyone. It seemed that now he feels that there are no more threats that can defeat him. What did this 10-year training in the Void Dimension do to Frieza? Frieza trapped Goku in the Empty Dimension and at the same time went to the planet Beerus in Universe 7 to ask him to test his powers. Seems like things are literally getting too complicated. Frieza on the planet Beerus. Beerus was already enraged at the words Frieza said. He said that Beerus was just a doormat for the angels and Zeno-sama. Beerus gets angry and says, "Frieza, get ready! I swear I won't forgive you! I've always trusted you to destroy planets for me! Never in several years have I seen you so cocky! Do you think that because you did some 10 years of training and achieved a new transformation you can defeat me now? I, the god of destruction of Universe 7, I hope you know that I have been around for millennia of years, and my training was the hardest of all. Now receive my Hakai!" Frieza receives Hakai power from Beerus. Whis and Vegeta are watching what was happening at that time. Frieza starts screaming in pain. It looked like the tyrant of Universe 7 had already been defeated. In a few moments, we heard a laugh. Frieza looks at Beerus and starts talking. I know this energy. This energy was not meant to kill me, Beerus-sama. This power is still very weak. If it's what you really want, fight it seriously. Don't toy with me. Show me your true power. Frieza discards Beerus' Zakai and activates his golden form. Beerus starts to smile and speaks, which means you're really ready for a fight. Very good. As much as I hate you, Frieza, I am much more excited to fight you. Then let's start. Empty Dimension. Goku finds himself day after day in the Empty Dimension where time passed in a totally different way than in normal reality. Goku began to perform various trainings. Goku says, This can only be a joke. That scoundrel Frieza never gets along. It doesn't make any sense. If he didn't want to end up with me, why did he put me here in this dimension? There are only two possibilities. One, that he really believed I could become much more powerful and maybe he wants to face me in the future. Or he really thinks I'll never get out of here. and that one day I would accept to do some atrocity for him. But that is impossible. I would die. But I would never ally myself with Frieza. I need to get out of here soon. I don't know what's going on in the outside world. What went through my head? Damn it! Why did I agree to go alone somewhere with Frieza after all he's done? By the tournament of power, it looked like he had at least gotten a little better. When we fought Broly, he even held back for a moment. I can't believe it. You'll pay me, Frieza! Goku spends some time training his Ultra Instinct. More days pass, and Goku starts walking through the empty dimension. Dark begins appear. Goku is impressed and says, "Really, what Frieza said was true. There are the beings here. It looks like this is going to be more complicated than I thought. So that means I have to fight these guys I've never seen before." The powers of these beings. Goku's Ultra Instinct energy starts to be reduced. Goku was amazed until he realized that the beings that he had appeared there managed to steal the energy of the gods. Goku says, "What is this? I cannot give up. If these guys steal my energy here, I'll be dead for sure. After all, I don't have any sensu beans and nobody here to heal me. Even I don't even know where Frieza Rascal is. Damn it!" Goku transforms into his mastered Ultra Instinct and manages to dodge the dark beings that were appearing there. Goku explodes his energy and attacks all the demons that were there. Goku watches and speaks. "Let's see what you can do against me. You won't be able to defeat me with your latent power. Show me who you are." A being very similar to the body of a Saiyan, but very dark, looks at Goku and says, "So that means you were able to detect my shadow energy. You must not be just any being. I don't think you know this dimension. There are quiet places here in it, and there are totally dark places. You have a pure heart. You should never have come here. The energy of self-movement fascinates me. It feels like I'm stealing the power of the angels. Frieza came this far. At first I was going to finish him off, but his sense of revenge and the evil in his heart was so great that it ended up teaching him the black transformation. That power really was incredible. Just remembering it makes me laugh." It must have been really funny, all the power he got during all those 10 years. He must, by the way, have beaten up all the weaklings in those universes. He said he would bring a very powerful mortal for me to eliminate. I believe it's you. Say your name before you die. Goku observes the being that looked there, and he didn't understand who it was. Goku says, "My name's Goku, and I'm the Saiyan of Universe 7. But I hope you don't think you're going to end up with me here. I told Frieza I was getting out of here, and I'm going to take out anyone who gets in my way. I need to save everyone. Frieza promised me that he would train me, but since in front of me is the guy who managed to show Frieza how to get new powers, so I believe if I end with you here and now, it will be all over. I'll be able to find a way to go straight back to Universe 7. Goku starts to fight against the unknown being of darkness. What actually happened for the being of darkness to have trained Frieza? What is Frieza planning in the face of all this? Planet Beerus. Beerus and Frieza begin to exchange several punches. Vegeta is watching and saying, "This Frieza is no good. I will finish this guy myself. He caught me off guard in that moment." Whis then says, "This seems to be a bit odd. After all, I was the one who revived Frieza when the Tournament of Power ended. So does that mean he really still wanted to rebel against everyone? But I don't see a thirst of revenge in him fighting Mr. Beerus. It seems he wants to test his true powers. And why did he put Lord Goku right in that dimension? I learned that a while ago, that there was a dimension where several renegade dark beings possessed extremely high powers. Powers that were still superior to those of God of Destruction, and some even reached the energy of angels. Does Frieza really want to test his strength to see if he can outrun Mr. Beerus to try and fight some of these deities directly? This seems like it makes a lot more sense to me. It could mean that Frieza just really wanted to test his energy. Beerus injects some of the Hakai energy into his body and starts throwing several punches at Frieza. Frieza is thrown away. Frieza starts to laugh and says, "It seems that his powers are indeed incredible. I can't imagine a being that can defeat him. You
You really always end up showing totally different abilities and powers so far greater than I could imagine. So that's how it is. I need to do my best. Frieza activates his black form. The moment Frieza activates his black form, the battle begins to take a new turn. Frieza goes on the offensive and lands several hits very easily on Beerus the Destroyer. The more hits Beerus received, the happier he is in battle. Everything looked weird. Vegeta, from the moment he begins to observe the blows being launched on Beerus, Vegeta already understood what happened. Whis watches and speaks. So does that mean you already noticed too, Mr. Vegeta? Mr. Beerus just letting Frieza hit him to make his ultra ego more powerful. The moment Frieza hits Beerus in multiple ways, Frieza says, "Looks like you're weak, Beerus-sama! You haven't trained for a moment! Now you will be surpassed by the current generation of warriors! Goodbye, Lord Beerus!" Frieza lands his final blow on Beerus. Beerus starts laughing and flinches Frieza away. His Ultra Ego Fury had already been unleashed. Frieza is startled and Beerus says,
"You've already annoyed me, Frieza. I don't know what you did to Goku, but then we'll find him. And now, this will be your end! Receive my energy of destruction, Hakai!"
Frieza, startled out of nowhere, starts to smile. Frieza says, "Good. It looks like it didn't work. Time to carry out my plan B." When Beerus looked like he was going to defeat Frieza, Beerus kneels down with a great pain in his stomach. Beerus says,
"What is this? It's not possible! I didn't understand what is happening! This is not possible! What did you do to me, Frieza?"
Whis and Vegeta are startled. Frieza starts to laugh and says, "Good. The only thing I accomplished here was simply use my army to invade the Heavenly Temple where the Kaioshins of Universe 7 are. I heard in a tournament of power that if the Kaioshin was killed, the God of Destruction would be too. But do not worry. I didn't order the Kaioshins to be killed. I didn't order my army to kill him yet. We just left him in a crucial state. Isn't that right, Mr. Lord Beerus? If you decide to attack me now, you will simply die, because there are already orders for my army to eliminate the Kaioshins in case something happens to me here." He observes and speaks. "Oh, this is getting a little dirty. But at the same time, it's really good. So that means Frieza planned it all." Frieza observes and speaks. "I have no intentions of killing him or doing anything here, Beerus-sama. But I needed to test my powers. Know that I didn't use all my strength, but I really confess that still the powers of the gods of destruction are incredible. Glad there is a small flaw. Mr. Whis, I'm going to ask you to take me to Universe 11 right now. I have business there. Soon after I will return to Universe 7, so don't worry. I won't cause such a mess." Whis observes and speaks. "Looks like I don't have much of a choice, do I? I'll have to send the dimensional cube to Frieza to go to Universe 11. Otherwise, he'll kill you, Mr. Beerus." Beerus watches and speaks.
How embarrassing! I can't believe this is happening!
Moments pass. Did Frieza manage to carry out part of his plan? At that time, Frieza is teleported to Universe 11 by Whis. Frieza comes to Universe 11 and says, "Looks like that God of Destruction, Jiren and Toppo are here. Good. Everyone who humiliated me in the Tournament of Power in this universe, I think it's time to deal with them." And the great period of peace came to an end. Goku and the Z Warriors will have new limits to overcome. The universe is no longer the same. Goku will have to overcome his limits. And in the great game the gods created, mortals are but pawns. It seems the gods want to play again. The most incredible battle of all time is about to begin. I better get them out of here so they don't destroy everything. Do you really think you can challenge a god? This time will be different. We won't be just entertainment for them. the one who makes the rules. It's gonna be awesome. 3 years have passed since the Tournament of Power. All universes went through moments of peace. Zeno-sama always told Daishikan that he was excited for the moment when a new Tournament of Power would happen. Everything seemed to be happening with extreme tranquility, but this does not always appear to be the true reality. All the gods of destruction felt extremely intrigued by what happened in the Tournament of Power. They were unhappy with Immortal making idiotic decisions, and because of his fault, he managed to convince Zeno-sama, the creator of everything, to create a tournament capable of destroying all universes at the whim of the multiverse. The gods are infuriated knowing the relationship between Goku and Zeno-sama, being fully aware that Goku has the free will to arrive at the King's Palace whenever he wants and free permission to talk to Zeno-sama or even play and ask to whatever he wants whenever he wants. What was even more strange was the fact that Zeno-sama had shown himself totally partial in the tournament, leaving his support for Universe 7 declared. After all these events and battle against Broly, Cell Max, and several other villains that emerged, the gods continued to look at Universe 7's performance and especially Goku's performance. At this moment, all the gods of destruction gather and say to Beerus that the great failure of mortals will always be Son Goku. If everyone analyzes it, everywhere Son Goku goes, a catastrophe ends up happening. Even in the periods while Beerus slept, the Saiyan's arrival on Earth, and after all the events he went through, there's something strange with this Saiyan. It is not normal for a warrior of this class to always be able to emerge victorious from extremely difficult battles, and even the death itself he will conquer. It even seemed that another certain supreme god has been watching him from the beginning, so that he's always saving himself with another kind of ultimate goal. Beerus does not agree 100% with the ideal of all other gods due to whether or not it was not for Goku and his friends. Perhaps Universe 7, like several other universes, could not exist anymore. But in the rule of the gods, if a god turns against all other gods, all gods involved rebel against that god and eliminated. At that moment, it was already clear that all the gods of destruction saw Goku as a target and knew that if he was not eliminated, natural catastrophe would still happen, as if it were a coincidence on Earth, and would still cause other universes not to be eliminated. If it was not for that mortal's attitudes, they would never end up suffering just like they did in a Tournament of Power. Beerus enraged all the gods. He ends up understanding the gods' decision and say that it will be done, but it will be done his way. Beerus says that he will find a way to seal Goku so that he can't escape a dimension, and make an excuse for Zeno-sama of the Great Priest, because killing the Saiyan due to the relationship he has with Zeno-sama can still create something more devastating. The gods agree. On Earth, all the Z Warriors were having fun and peaceful days with their families, while Goku and Vegeta carried out their training. Beerus appears in the middle of Goku and Vegeta's training. Goku is all happy to see Beerus and greets him with a tone of naivety. But Vegeta looks at the God of Destruction with a look of strangeness to see that the God of Destruction came to Earth alone, without Whis. Vegeta already suspected that Beerus was up to something, because most of the times that the God of Destruction appeared in Universe 7 or in Earth, it was next to his angel to take Goku and Vegeta for training or for a mission, but this time he was alone. Beerus looks at Goku and speaks.
Goku, I need you to come with me in the time chamber.
Goku, with a naive face, is happy to imagine that Beerus is wanting to train Goku. At that time, Vegeta tells Goku not to go because unlike before, he's noticing something different about Beerus. Beerus says that Goku doesn't have any choices, that if he doesn't obey him, the whole Earth will be destroyed and he will be blamed for that. Vegeta speaks.
What is happening right now? What's going on through Beerus' head?
After the dialogue between the God of Destruction and the Saiyans, Beerus leaves Vegeta in the training place and advances with Goku in the time chamber. At the entrance of the time chamber, Goku realizes that Beerus did not want to enter and questions the reason for the decision of the God of Destruction. Beerus keeps a straight face and tells Goku to just go in. Goku starts to laugh and then changes his face to a serious one and says that he already knew that sooner or later this would happen. He already thought it was strange when the entire Universe 9 decided to attack him in the Tournament of Power, and he already imagined that from a certain time he would be the target of the gods. Beerus continues to maintain his straight face without saying a word. Goku says that if Beerus is so sure the other gods are right, he should end Goku's existence right now, since he's such a threat, otherwise things could get worse later. Goku keeps looking at Beerus, but Beerus doesn't say a word. So Goku laughs again and says he already understands and ends up entering the time chamber. Upon entering the time chamber, he hears the sound of a huge explosion. This huge explosion destroys the entrance to the time chamber, trapping Goku. Beerus says,
"It's done."
At that moment, Vegeta appears in front of the time chamber, saying that what Beerus did was a big mistake. Even if it came from a decision chosen by several other gods, Kakarot's steps go far beyond that. A mortal who managed to activate the Ultra Instinct and impressed all other gods will never be stopped with a ceiling. Unless Beerus the Destroyer was afraid, alongside the other gods, to challenge the mortal that impressed even Zeno-sama. Beerus remains serious and replies that he has nothing to resolve with Vegeta. That what he needed to do was already done, and if he had one more thing against the Destroyer's decision, he could resolve it with him in his fists. Vegeta smiles and says that he won't need to do anything, just wait and time will tell. Beerus returns to his planet. Meanwhile, in the time chamber, an angry Goku begins to reflect and says, "It was just like that time. I remember like it was yesterday, while I was fighting Head in the Universe 6 tournament. Mr. Beerus and his brother Champa were fighting each other, saying that one would destroy the other's universe as if they were banal things. So many lives eliminated by the whims of gods. So many catastrophes occurring, and now without any obvious explanation they decide to arrest me as if I were a greater threat to everyone. This has already gone too far." Goku begins to raise his powers more and more in the time chamber and activates his Ultra Instinct. Goku from now on lives with a new goal.
Now everyone will know, for better or worse, who I am. Everyone will know the real son, Goku. Beerus will regret not killing me. If his idea was to end me, this silly was the worst choice. Now I will get more and more powerful until the moment I can get out of here. Now it's time for revenge.
Goku was at his house training when suddenly a group of 4 gods appeared. They accused Goku of having caused too much trouble in the universe and decided to punish him by imprisoning him in the time chamber. Surrounded by the gods,
"What's going on? What are you doing this to me?"
"Don't lie to us, Goku. We know that you are aware of what you did, or rather, what you were going to do."
"But I didn't do anything."
"Your denial only further proves your guilt, Goku. You're aware of what you've done, and even if you haven't done anything yet, it's just a matter of time. And now you will be taken to the time chamber to face the consequences of your actions." Goku was furious and tried to fight the gods, but they were too powerful for it. Left with no choice, Goku was easily taken to the hyperbolic time chamber and locked away. Meanwhile, Beerus and Whis stop in the middle of their meal and are stunned by the feeling they just experienced. They looked at each other, trying to find an explanation of what just happened.
"What will it be?"
Whis asked. Beerus didn't respond immediately. He was trying to identify the source of the disturbance. His divine senses allowed him to detect things most beings could not perceive, and he could sense that something powerful and unknown was moving in the fabric of time and space. Finally, Beerus turned to Whis and says,
"I don't know. There's something seriously wrong out there. We need to investigate, Whis."
They moved together, using their divine ability to break through the barriers of time and space. As they got closer to the source of the disturbance, Beerus could feel his anger building.
"They locked Goku in the time chamber,"
he whirled, his eyes narrowing in fury.
"Who made this?"
Whis asked, trying to understand the situation. Beerus growled in response. He could sense the presence of other gods nearby, but not the gods of destruction they knew from other universes. This made him even more worried.
"I don't know who this is, but I have my suspicions,"
he said, his voice thick with menace. They continue advancing until they finally arrived at the location of the disturbance.
"What's going on here?"
Beerus asked, his voice full of anger. The gods turned to face them, but they didn't seem intimidated. They knew they had the power to fight the gods of destruction if need to be. God Champa says,
"We are here to punish Goku,"
with a malicious smile on his lips.
"He caused a lot of trouble in our universe, and we think he needs a lesson."
Beerus couldn't believe what he was hearing. He felt like that he was talking to his brother, Champa, but there was something strange in the air. The aura wasn't the same. Something was wrong. He looked at Whis and saw the same confusion on his face.
"Who are you anyway?" Beerus asked suspiciously. Champa looked taken aback by Beerus' quick remark. He thought that his appearance and aura were identical to the real Champa, but Beerus was able to detect the difference. The god of destruction looked directly at the fake Champa with a look of disdain and distrust.
"You're not my brother,"
Beerus said, his voice now cold and hard.
"Your aura is different. Who are you and what are you doing here?"
The fake Champa realized he had been discovered. He let out a cynical laugh before answering.
"You're smart, Beerus. I'm an imposter, but I'm not the real either. You look like the gods of destruction we know, but you're not them,"
stated Beerus. Beerus then asked Whis what the hell is going on there, and Whis explained that if he wasn't mistaken, those gods weren't from the same reality as them. That would explain why the fabric of time and reality was tearing, and he believed these lords were responsible for it. Whis explained to Beerus that there was a difference between universe and reality. He said that there were 12 known universes, but from them, there were infinite realities that unfolded in each universe. These unknown gods are not from our reality, Whis explained to Beerus. They must have come from an alternative reality in one of the 12 universes. This is why we feel the fabric of time and reality being torn apart. Beerus nodded, realizing it made sense. He knew that there were other realities where different events could happen, but he had never thought of gods from other realities entering his own reality.
"So what should we do?"
Beerus asked. We must stop these gods from punishing Goku. They have no right to interfere with our reality, and we cannot allow that to happen. The fake Champa smirked as he saw the warrior's expressions of Beerus' face.
"We've trapped Goku in a special time chamber that connects reality,"
he said with a superior tone.
"There, no one will be able to rescue him. He's completely at our mercy now."
Whis looked at the unknown gods with a serious expression on his face. The only mystery here is why they're after Goku, he said. What did he do to deserve being locked in a special time chamber? And why are you so determined to punish him? The fake Champa then explained the reason behind Goku's punishment.
"The problem isn't just with this version of Goku. It is with all the versions of him in any universe and reality. In all realities, one version of Goku is responsible for a universal catastrophe. He's a dangerous existence, and the greatest of them was the devourer of realities, as he was known. We are condemning all existent versions of Goku to prevent this from happening again. And in this special time chamber, where we trapped him, no one can rescue him."
Whis was stunned by the revelation, while Beerus looked skeptical.
"That's impossible," he said. "Goku can be a little reckless at times, but he would never do something that catastrophic."
The fake Champa just shook his head.
"You don't understand, Beerus. It's not just this version of Goku that's the problem. It's all versions of him, in all realities. Do you understand? He's in constant danger. He is the danger. And it's our duty to protect the existence of all universe and all realities. The doom of Goku is the only solution."
Beerus was uneasy about the situation. He felt that something was wrong with the unknown gods and the situation in general. They weren't just doing a duty, they were enjoying the possibility of condemning Goku. Furthermore, the fake Champa's words made no sense to Beerus. Condemned all versions of Goku in all realities? That seemed like an exaggeration, even for someone like Beerus who had already seen a lot of strange things in his life. As a god of destruction, of course. He knew there was something that they were keeping from him. He knew that there was something that they were keeping out from him, but he couldn't figure out what it was. The situation was getting more and more tense, and Beerus knew he needed to act fast if he wanted to save Goku. In the time chamber, Goku felt lost and alone. He was used to training in open, sunny places where he could hear the sounds of nature and feel the warmth of the sun. But in the Hall of Time, he was surrounded by darkness and silence. He began training, but soon realized that the time chamber was unlike anything he had ever experienced. The challenges were tougher and the enemies more powerful. Goku was trapped in a time chamber, a place where time passes differently than it does in the real world. He had been imprisoned there because he was considered a threat, since in many different realities a version of Goku caused destruction and chaos in transcendental emotions. However, Goku still didn't know it. Imprisoned Goku did the only thing he could do. He trained intensely, looking for a way to escape this prison. After months of training, Goku felt that he had reached a new level of power. He focused all of his ki and let it flow, pouring out all of his energy. He felt an incredible strength building within him, as if it was capable of destroying anything that stood in its way. Suddenly, the fabric of reality began to distort and tear around him, until it finally gave way completely. Goku was surprised and happy with the enormous power he had gained in such a short time, but his happiness didn't last long. When the fabric of reality breaks down, he finds himself in a completely different space. It was as if he had been transported to another dimension in a completely strange and unfamiliar place. He looked up and saw several time chambers capsules floating in space. When he tried to fly up, he felt that there was no place without a time chamber capsule. He was confused. He had never seen anything like this before, and he had no idea how he could escape this strange place. As he flew, looking for a way out, he felt that the time capsules were everywhere. He began to wonder how this was possible, how there could be so many capsules, and how the time chambers were contained within them. He tried to fly towards one of the capsules to see what was inside, but was stopped by an incredibly strong barrier that threw him backwards. Goku was surprised. He had never encountered such a strong barrier before. Even with all his powers, Goku couldn't destroy it. Every blow he landed was reflected back at him, making him feel the impact. He knew that something important must be inside that capsule, but he couldn't get there. Determined to find out what was sleeping there, Goku focused all his energy on trying to feel it. Goku focused all his energy on trying to feel if there was something inside the time chamber capsule. To his surprise, he felt ki extremely similar to his own. He was confused for a moment, wondering if the barrier could have reflected his own presence back at him. However, before he could think about it further, he caught the presence of another being with a similar ki to his own, hovering nearby. Goku was excited at the possibility of meeting someone. Following the person's presence, Goku wondered if this person would be able to help him or at least answer some of his questions. As he approached the mysterious figure, Goku shouted, "Hey, you! Hey!" The figure was on its back on top of a huge rock that was floating on that place. Upon hearing Goku, the figure turned around and surprised Goku. The mysterious man was the spitting image of Goku himself. The figure then says, "Amazing. Looks like I'm not the only monster around here." "Incredible! You're just like me. You're Saiyan too, right?" asked Goku. Mysterious figure said, "And who are you? How did you get here asking a bunch of questions? Say your name first, you weirdo. And who are you? How did you get here asking a bunch of questions? Say your name first, you weirdo." "But yeah, I'm a Saiyan, and apparently you are one too, right?" Goku was a little confused by the way the mysterious figure spoke, but he was excited to find someone who could help him understand what he was feeling. He then introduced himself. "I'm Goku, from Universe 7. And you?" The mysterious figure looked at Goku with an intense gaze, as if sizing him up. Goku noticed that there was something different about this figure, something he couldn't explain. Then the figure replied, "Your name is Goku. I never met someone with that name. My name is Kakarot." Goku widened his eyes in surprise. "Really? That's my second name too," he said, shaking his head. "Interesting. You must have a great life story," introduced Kakarot, with a smile on his face. Goku couldn't help but smile too, but his expression soon changed to a more heartfelt one as he remembered why he was there. "Ah, Kakarot, I have something funny to say. I have no idea what's going on. Could you explain to me, what's happening?" asked Goku, sincerely confused by the situation he found himself in. Kakarot looked even more surprised. "Hey, you don't know?" Goku shook his head. "I have no idea. Nobody told me anything. I was trapped in one of those capsules. I don't know how else these capsules are like in the time chamber," explained Goku, looking at Kakarot. Kakarot said, "I see. So you'd know absolutely nothing," he said in a worried manner. "In that case, the first thing you should know is that I am you and you are me from a parallel reality. A reality that is not separate by either time or space. It's a new dimension mirrored by another dimension, mirrored by another dimension, and so on. And that's how we all originated," Kakarot explained, glaring at Goku. Goku was stunned by Kakarot's explanation. It was hard to understand, but he knew he had to trust him since he was the only clue he had as to what's going on. And the second thing? He asked, eager for more information. We are being haunted by several gods in different realities. At some point, some Goku or Kakarot, that is, whatever the name of this other version of us is, will be captured and imprisoned in a capsule with temporal rooms, said Kakarot, his expression becoming more serious. Goku was completely stunned by Kakarot's words, but at the same time he felt a strange animation inside him. He had never imagined that there would be so many gods behind him and his other versions. How's that even possible? Why are we even being hunted? Kakarot realized Goku's confusion and explained, Several versions of us have already caused imaginable catastrophes. We were classified as a threat at the level of the Great Senno-sama. The gods decided to hunt us all down because worse than a god of destruction is a god of antimatter. Someone who can erase life like it's nothing. A version of us, they call that. Goku was shocked by the revelation, but he also felt a twinge of pride. So you mean our potential for evolution surpasses the gods and that's why they're afraid of us? Asked Goku. Exactly, replied Kakarot excitedly. And even now you still don't realize what you've done, do you? Asked Kakarot. I don't understand anything. What did I do? Kakarot looked at Goku in awe and said, You have great potential, my friend. Anyone who escapes the capsule is no longer the same. I still don't understand. You just escaped from a capsule that imprisoned you in a temporal chamber made to punish angels and even rebellious gods. At that moment, you overcome a pseudo-god of destruction, maybe even clash with an angel, explained Kakarot. Goku looked at Kakarot in surprise. He couldn't believe he had so much power inside him, but then a feeling of dread began to build in his chest. If the gods were hunting them all down, that meant he wasn't safe anywhere. Goku looked at Kakarot in surprise. He asked him how they were going to seek to evolve with the gods all the time behind them. We won't be safe anywhere, pointed Goku. Kakarot hesitated before answering Goku, but he finally said, Yes and no. We're safe, but our other versions are still being hunted. He sighed, thinking of the challenges they still lay ahead. Our problems now are no longer the gods. After all, we've already been captured. But we only managed to get past the first problem. There are still other challenges to return to our reality. Goku looked at Kakarot worried and asked, And in the second problem, are we alone? Kakarot shook his head. No, we're not alone. There are many of us scattered around, all looking for a way to increase our power and escape from here. Kakarot looked thoughtful before adding, I heard that a version of us has been causing a lot of trouble for the gods outside. This version was the first to escape the time chamber. It became known as the Devourer of Life or God of Antimatter. He simply ended all traces of existing life by escaping from prison. Because of this, the gods decided to make a new layer of protective barrier to prevent other possible versions of us from escaping. We will have to do much more than that. We will have to do much more than just escaping the capsule. It will be something new and unprecedented. Goku was impressed by the story. This guy must be amazing. I'd like to fight him one day, he said, his expression determined. Kakarot agreed. He must be, but we have to focus on getting out of here first. Then we can think about challenging the Life Eater. Goku nodded, agreeing with his friend. Of course, we need a plan first. But the idea of fighting someone that strong is exciting. As they were talking, a mysterious figure approached. It was a version of Vegeta they had never seen before. He had a somber air and appeared to be in a state of deep meditation. Kakarot and Goku were surprised to see him, but decided to approach him to try and find out more about his history and his quest to escape that place. They approached carefully, trying not to disturb Vegeta's concentration. Hey, who are you? Asked Goku, trying to get Vegeta's attention. Vegeta opened his eyes slowly, and his expression turned into a mixture of anger and disbelief. I am the great King Vegeta, of course. How did you not realize that before? Kakarot took a step forward, trying to defuse the situation. Sorry, we didn't mean to offend you. We're just trying to escape this place and wanted to know if you had any information that could help us. Vegeta looked hesitant to share anything with them. I don't trust you. I don't know if you're our friends or enemies. Goku was in a state of confusion as he saw a version of Vegeta in front of him. He had thought that that place would only be inhabited by versions of him, but to his surprise, there was also a version of his eternal rival. Kakarot, for his part, was also surprised and stated that he'd never seen any other version of Vegeta in his travels and wanderings in this world they were trapped in. In addition, Kakarot said that he never imagined that Prince Vegeta could be a king in any reality, because in his reality Vegeta always preached peace and was so meek and calm that he was a fiasco as a Saiyan warrior. This statement left Goku even more confused, as in his reality Vegeta was known as a Chaos Wrangler and a powerful Saiyan warrior. Faced with the contradiction between the two realities, Goku questioned Kakarot if he was serious, stating that it was almost unimaginable for him to think of Vegeta as a pacifist. However, the version of Vegeta present in that reality got irritated with their conversation and told them not to compare him with this pathetic version they had of him. Vegeta's presence in another reality, especially as a pacifist, was something difficult for Goku to understand, who had always known Vegeta as a fierce warrior and a constant antagonist in his battles. Kakarot's statement about Vegeta's personality in his reality seemed almost absurd to Goku, who was used to fighting the Saiyan Prince in his own reality. The conversation with the version of Vegeta present in that reality left Goku and Kakarot thoughtful for a few seconds and curious about the different versions of themselves and their friends that could exist in other realities. They began to question themselves about how the choices and decisions they have made in their own realities could have led to different outcomes in other realities. The experience of meeting a different version of a familiar character was a new experience for both Goku and Kakarot. They realized that the multiverse was vaster and more complex than they had previously imagined, and that there were countless possibilities and realities that they had not yet explored. The conversation with the version of Vegeta present there had made them more humble and curious about other realities that they still didn't know, and it opened their minds to a new understanding that would make all the difference in their near future. During Goku, Kakarot, and Vegeta's conversation, dark and lifeless beings approached them, ready for direct combat. They physically resembled Goku, wearing black masks and black clothes. They looked empty, without any life. Three warriors realized that there was something strange about these beings and prepared for battle. However, they were weak, and Goku made no effort to finish them off. The battle was not difficult and was over in a few moments. Upon starting combat, Goku showed a small portion of his power, just to warm up and prepare for more difficult battles. This served to impress everyone there, including Vegeta, who was amazed at Goku's power. Kakarot, upon seeing the power emanating from Goku, thought to himself, "That's a third of his power? Impressive, and I'll challenge him." Meanwhile, Vegeta felt inferior. He considered himself incredibly powerful, but he realized that in just that one small battle, the version he knew of Kakarot wasn't even close to a third of Goku's power. Vegeta's facial expressions changed to a mixture of surprise and admiration. There was respect and maturity that we didn't know expressed in his gaze. Kakarot was visibly perplexed by the appearance of the dark and lifeless beings that attacked them. With a confused expression, he asked Goku where these beings were and if he had seen anything similar before. Goku shook his head, saying that he had never seen anything like this. Vegeta, who seemed less surprised by the situation, explained that these beings were common in that place, and that they always appeared suddenly. They are not strong and do not have battle intelligence. It is as if they were lifeless dolls following orders, but their origin was still unknown. Meanwhile, the beings' bodies began to dissipate, turning into dust. Unfortunately, this prevented any kind of more detailed investigation into the origin of these mysterious beings. Goku sighed and commented that there seemed to be more questions than answers in that place. He looked around, taking in the desolate landscape and dark, unsettling space. It was like they were in a completely different world that they were used to. Kakarot, for his part, seemed excited at the prospect of new challenges and adventures. He turned to Goku and said with a smile on his face, "Well, at least we're not going to get bored here, are we?" However, Vegeta remained silent and seemed to be mulling something over in silence. His expression was serious and concentrated, as if he was analyzing every detail of his surroundings.
Unknown Galaxy. Goku and Vegeta fell into Zaki and Banzerot's trap. It seems that now things have become more difficult for the two Saiyans because we once saw that those who prove to be the most powerful at a certain point end up being defeated. An unexpected presence appears in front of Goku and Vegeta. The heavenly war has begun. Goku and Vegeta already became targets before the strongest gods. Will this be the end of Universe 7's Goku and Vegeta? At that moment, directly in Universe 8, Likia, the god of destruction from Universe 8, was lying on the ground. We heard a voice come up. Unknown voice says, "It seems that the gods of destruction in these universes are too weak. I really can't understand why these things are happening. Perhaps I should have chosen another universe. Although if you think about it, I chose it, but I ended up in the wrong universe. It's no use. I have the power that is capable of defeating any enemy. My strength really keeps getting bigger. I'm sure that now I will be able to show all my power. I am the most powerful angel." At that moment, Likia falls to the ground and says, "How did he manage to do that?" Likia has a little flashback in his head and says, "Looks like that fight was won. He started taking my blows and I had dodged all of his attacks. But in a small instant, he managed to eradicate me with an attack that felt like it had distorted reality. I should have guessed that this guy was an angel. But unlike all of Zeno-sama's protective angels, this guy fights like a barbarian warrior. It seems he likes to get into conflicts. I didn't even have the time to activate my ultra ego. That was a disgrace to me as a god of destruction. If by some miracle I make it out of here alive, you will pay for it. How did this happen?" At that moment, Kai, the angel of Universe 14, appears and says, "You should know that for all heroes, we start by getting beaten up in a fight, and then we do a turnaround in battle. I am the hero of these people. That's why I need to end all evil. Once the great priest sealed my universe and all my friends, now we will end the real villain. You will be sealed here, and soon I will show you my true power. I will not eliminate your universe. I will make your universe have me as an angel. Surely all mortals here would like to have Zaki as the new god of destruction of your former universe. You will be our slave, Likia. I think I'll go see how things are. You will be locked in here." Likia is sealed away by Kai, the strongest angel in Universe 14. Kai goes to Universe 7. At that moment, Kai observes everything. Kai analyzes all the powerful presences in Universe 7 and sees that Zaki was there. Kai spots Zaki and says, "Does that mean you've already dealt with Goku and the other Saiyan? I could see the energy of two powerful Saiyans fighting against you for light years." Banzerot begins to watch and says, "They are in the kingdom of Shiva. Nothing came to our mind that could be different. The task was to capture them, and practically all of our techniques are brutal, and if we used it, we would make the existence of the two to be extinguished. It would totally go against the will of Shiva and Mother of Angels Zakai. So after using our dimensional sealing technique, we sent them to where the bloody angel is. Shiva will deal with them. We just did a sealing technique. Even because there are other Saiyans, extremely powerful, and from what we can understand, it's not just Son Goku who has great skills. Then, even when we evaluate this whole situation, we can make the best decision. Do you understand, Kai?" At that moment, Zaki starts laughing and says, "Looks like we're going to have to show true power. Looks like we're going to have to raise our energies more and more. It's very interesting to play with these Saiyans. In Universe 7, there are a few Saiyans, but all the presences of this race are extremely powerful. I believe this will get better and better. But we must not forget that we are in a heavenly war. Let's wait and see how this whole situation turns out." Perfect. Come on. We have to analyze this whole situation. At that moment, a great energy arises directly in Universe 7. Great powers begin to be released. Gohan appears and says, "What's going on here? It seems that I no longer feel my father's energy as much as Mr. Vegeta's energy. Mr. Piccolo, let's find out what's going on." At that moment, Gohan and Piccolo begin to fight several destruction cats. Piccolo says, "These beings of Beerus's race are very annoying. Come on, Gohan. We need to defeat them to see what's going on." At that moment, Kai can feel another energy and says, "I feel an energy here in this universe that has a potential more powerful than even Son Goku and all other Saiyans." Zaki and Banzerot start to wonder. Kai starts to smile maniacally. "Yes, he exists. I knew. I feel like this warrior is hiding his power, but I can feel all this energy. Perfect. This will be fantastic. I already know who I'll go after. I need to meet him." At that moment, Banzerot and Zaki were watching everything that was happening. Who is Kai talking about? Back to the unknown galaxy. Goku and Vegeta begin trying to directly attack the Angel of Universe 18. At that moment, Goku tries to hit the Angel's head directly and sticks his hand in the thorns that are coming out of Shiva's head. Shiva starts laughing and says, "Haha, let's see. Does that mean that you would really have the courage to attack me? That's pretty daring for a mortal to try to attack an angel. Didn't you know that I'm a celestial being? You shouldn't be a guy who attacks stronger beings in your universe." Goku says, "This is a war. We need to save our universe." Goku starts to think. The power of those two was very great. When I thought Vegeta and I were going to combine our powers, in the blink of an eye, the combined technique of the two appeared and ended up bringing us here. Still, I can't even know what universe this is or what reality we're in. Goku, back to his normal sanity, says, "Tell me, what place is this? What do you think you're doing with us here? We are not your puppets. Come out and come fight with us. Vegeta, we shouldn't have let our guard down." At that moment, Goku begins to increase his powers more and more. The Angel of Universe 18 says, "Well, I already told you once. If you want to get out of here, it's very simple. The only thing you need to do is defeat me. Of course, if you believe you are capable. Son Goku, if you have any idea how many people want his head, I would think twice before leaving, because I think he's an indestructible superhero." This war doesn't really involve you mortals, but you decided to help the wrong side. From your partner universes, we managed to break out of the seal we were in after the High Priest's betrayal. Goku and Vegeta start watching. At that moment, Vegeta says, "Betrayal of the High Priest?" Shiva starts laughing and says, "Exactly. Don't you think it's weird? Extremely strong beings like us were sealed away after millennia of battles. The only explanation why this could happen would be betrayal. And it came from whom we least expected it. But one of ours was among all these universes. We can see several things that were happening. Now it will be more than interesting to show all our power and take back everything that is rightfully ours." Goku starts watching and speaks. What is she talking about? Why does she say so much about the angel's betrayal? Does she mean that one of the angels who are beside the High Priest is a traitor? It makes no sense. At that moment, the angel Shiva starts laughing and says, "Haha, exactly. Let it be known that the traitor is..." The moment Shiva speaks the name of the traitor, Goku and Vegeta are brooding. Goku says, "It cannot be." The moment Goku started to get reflective, Shiva says, "It doesn't matter. Know that you never managed to get out of here. Or better, at least you won't get out of here with life, Vegeta. Goku, you will finally be captured by me." Planet Earth. At that moment, Gohan had come face to face with Zaki after defeating all the destruction cats that were in that location. Gohan says, "I felt your energy far away from here. It seems that for some reason, my body asked me to defeat him. If I manage to defeat you here and now, Surely the technique my father received will be undone and he will be able to return here, right? At that instant, Piccolo appears in front of Banzerot. Banzerot speaks. I was looking for a Saiyan, but you don't look like a Saiyan. It doesn't matter. If you are a warrior, you will be killed here now. A great bang appears on Earth. At that moment, the angel of the universe from Universe 14 appeared in front of Gohan, the third son of Goku and Vados. Kai says, I finally found you. It's no use hiding your power. I know you're very strong. Gohan looks at Kai with a scared look. At that moment, Kai starts laughing and says, I know you are powerful. Don't hide your energy. You're not just a Saiyan. You are a hybrid with an angel, so you have similar energy to mine. Fantastic. At that moment, Gohan watches and speaks. Damn, they found me. Gohan is the third son of Goku, the son of Goku and Vados, the angel of Universe 6. Goku in another timeline had his third son after Gohan and Goten were destroyed in his timeline. In this timeline, all Z warriors only went through catastrophes until the moment when all Z warriors were destroyed. Goku in another world began training with Lord Kai and increasingly surpassed his powers. In that reality and in the world of those who had lost their lives, Goku ended up becoming the savior of everything. Goku began to solve all situations, increasing his strength more and more and showing all his power. We knew that Goku was the savior of everything until the moment he had the involvement with the angel of Universe 6, Vados. Vados, after meeting and seeing everything that Goku could show, ended up becoming interested in the Saiyan, seeing that even though the Saiyan had been killed, his soul still wanted to protect the realm of the dead. Vados revives Goku. A great relationship and a fruit of that romance emerged. Gohan, the angelic Saiyan. Gohan, even as a child, had several battles and had a gigantic emerging power for being the combination of a Saiyan alongside the power of an angel. Gohan saw his reality being attacked by the Dark Angels while Goku and Vados fought a celestial battle in their timelines. Times passed. Gohan arrived in the Z Fighters timeline to help Goku. Gohan held a training alongside Goku in the room of the gods of Universe 6, and soon after they fought together against Black Vegito. Sometime later, Gohan trained again with Beerus in the room of the gods. Now Gohan is on the side of Goku and all universes in the heavenly battle. Few in this timeline know that Gohan is the son of Goku and Vados. At that exact moment, Gohan is in front of Kai, the angel considered the hero of Universe 14. Kai is considered the strongest angel in terms of brute strength. At that moment, Kai had just defeated Likia, the god of destruction of Universe 8. At that moment, Kai is face to face with the third son of Goku. Kai starts laughing and says, let's go. Gohan is your name, isn't it? Show me what you're capable of, and I won't take it easy on you. At that moment, a great battle was being shown. Goku begins to observe everything in another galaxy. Goku says, it seems that there is another presence even more powerful than all others directly in Universe 7. Are Gohan and everyone having problems? At that moment, Goku remembers that Gohan doesn't want to reveal all of his powers in front of Gohan and the other mortals. But what's going on? Who is this other presence? Shiva starts watching, laughing, and says, ha ha ha, let's see. It looks like he decided to show his true energy. Looks like he's still just like before. Well, if we are going to evaluate the brute force aspect, it really can show something catastrophic. You don't get along, Kai. You don't even let the enemy have time to breathe. I feel that Universe 8 is not the same as before. The god of destruction there has been defeated. Since you can attack the god of destruction of Universe 8 and not directly attack your own angel brother, this way he will find a way to save your god of destruction. Looks like your rules are totally different, but come on, let's see. If you are in Universe 7, it is because something caught your attention. At that moment, Goku says, you're after Gohan, aren't you? I know that. At that moment, the angel Shiva starts laughing and says, "Ha ha ha, it was him. I've always suspected this kid. Maybe you're not Son Goku's real target. Now that we know of Gon's existence, maybe he's the one we should capture." At that moment, Vegeta questions himself.
Who are you talking about, Kakarot? Is that the boy who came with you?
At that moment, Shiva says, "Exactly. Didn't Goku tell you? This boy is the third son of Son Goku. Son Goku had a son with Vados, the angel of Universe 6. In another timeline where we had eliminated all mortals in the world of the dead, Son Goku trained with Mr. Kai, and after Champa appeared to blame Goku for Beerus's death, the angel Vados went along and ended up falling in love with him. What a cliche." From this relationship in this timeline, a fruit was born, the Saiyan with angelic power, Gon, the heavenly Saiyan. Perhaps he is the greatest hybrid warrior with potential that ever lived. Vegeta is surprised and says,
What? What are you talking about?
Goku replies, "Damn, this shouldn't have happened." Planet Earth. At that moment, large explosions begin to happen on the ground, and we can hear several noises of Gon receiving several blows and at the same time dodging Kai's attacks. Kai says, "Come on, show your strength soon, boy. I know you can do so much more than that. It seems that I know the energy of each one. I know what each one is capable of. Come on, show us what you can develop." At that moment, we can see that the energy that has been raised directly from Gon each time manages to get bigger. Gon speaks. "This guy certainly has powers very similar to those of Cypher, the Angel of Destruction, but it seems that Cypher possessed abilities that would destroy anything through magic. Now this guy has astronomical brute strength, but at the same time, I don't see him using magical powers. Does he not have any kind of energy related to this destruction magic?" At that moment, Kai starts laughing and says, "Ha ha ha ha. I confess that in all my angelic training, I never wanted to test powers like magic. I always thought that by force everything would be solved. In all my training, I saw my brothers with their staffs learning to control magic. I realized that I was different. I just wanted to know how to fight and show my real strength. Over time in battles I had with my brothers, I realized that my physical strength was much greater than all of them. My superiority was clear. All the magic attacks I received had no effect on my body due to my superhuman strength. I realized that I had been chosen to be considered the strongest angel. Great powers ask for great responsibilities, and that's what made me the hero of my universe and loved by all my people. That was so perfect. Until the day that because of a fight between my brothers and my father, the great priest, the universes who stood beside my mother, the mother of all angels, were erased. Everything went so fast that I didn't have time to show my real strength. That was really sad. But don't say that. Now I am here, and this time we've come to show what we're capable of. This time I myself will settle the score with my father." That's right, you were talking about my magic. Gon starts to wonder and says, "This guy's a lot messier than I thought." Kai responds, "Magic for me was something that never made so much sense. But now I can see that it will be more than interesting to fight by showing my power to you, boy. In the end, we are equal, chosen by the Celestials to be the most powerful of our races. Come on, show what you're really capable of." At that moment, Gon observes and starts laughing. "So that means it's just the two of us here in this location, right? You are an angel, and I also possess angelic energy, but you only possess brute force, so if our battle collapse starts to happen, no one will suspect which is my energy and which is your energy. This is perfect. I'm so happy. I've waited so long for this moment." "Haha, Dad, now I can show everything I learned from you and Mr. Beerus right in the training in the room of the gods. I'm very happy now. I'm Gon, the Celestial Saiyan, son of Goku and Vados. So that's just what I need. Now I can fight seriously with you. Kai makes a surprised face and says, I mean, this boy is very smart. He just didn't want others to know his real power. As we both have a heavenly energy, everyone will think he's fighting an angel and won't know how to differentiate my energy and his energy. Ha 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 ha. Fantastic, boy. Let's start our fight. Gon versus Kai. What is Gon's plan? What's happening? Finally, the third son of Goku will show his true power. Gohan versus the Saiyan hybrid is here. Zaki finally shows his true strength. Gohan's true power is finally revealed. Gohan starts fighting Zaki. Zaki says, it seems that his energy is totally different from Goku and Vegeta's energy. In the same way that Vegeta uses Ultra Ego, showing the wrath of his power, and Goku shows the calmness of his ki with Ultra Instinct. You fight like you combine the power of both. Yet there's something more. There seems to be a purity and anger in your fists. You're an interesting boy. Son Gohan is your name, isn't it? You have the respect of Zaki, the god of destruction of Universe 14. It will be an honor to eliminate you. Gohan starts to smile and says, I can't say which power is higher, if it's mine or if it's my father's, but it still doesn't matter because I have a mission, and that mission is to protect the Earth, and you are a threat. I will finish you off, and I will protect Earth and truly show my true power. At that moment, we can see that several destruction cats were being eliminated. A voice comes up and says, it looks like I really managed to show all my power here. These cats of destruction are really a pain in the ass. I would have to finish each one and show what the true meaning of energy is. Let's go there now. It is time for truth and heavenly power to be revealed. At that instant, we can see a large opening and a crack in a time rift on planet Earth. A great warrior ends up coming out of the time rift. Who is this warrior? Back to the battle of Gohan. Gohan, after hitting Zaki's face, realizes that Zaki is very calm. Zaki starts laughing and says, this is fascinating. This is incredible. It means that you are the Saiyan hybrid of the prophecy. It reminds me of the same way that I was chosen as a Saiyan of my universe. At that moment, Gohan observes Zaki and speaks. What? Are you a Saiyan too? Gohan is surprised to discover that Zaki was also a Saiyan. Gohan notices that Zaki's skin color and hair are totally different from all Saiyans he knows. At that instant, Gohan speaks. But after the darker skin, those dark eyes, that hair color, he has Saiyan traits, but he's still quite different. I can't understand. Your ki is that of a Saiyan, but your appearance is totally different. I'm a hybrid Saiyan of two races. Is there a possibility of him being… No, it's not possible that could happen. At that moment, Zaki starts to laugh and says, haha, let's see. You will be eliminated by me, son Gohan. You question yourself too much. This is just a fight in a war where the strongest will emerge victorious. Can you understand that? You are talking to the warrior who will erase your existence from the whole universe. But I must deduce that the mix of races you know among suspected Saiyans must make sense. That Saiyan race next to a human. In this way, you have become a hybrid. As for me, I remember it like it was yesterday. The reflections that my father used to say. At that moment, we have a small flashback of Zaki. We see a being with long black hair, a Saiyan with very high energy. Everyone feared him. They knew that he could increasingly show high skills. The birth of a prodigy was shown. That Saiyan who manages to raise his powers more and more. At that moment, we can see that the Saiyan that had been shown was Zaki's father. In a few moments, the Saiyans conquered several planets and showed different skills. All the energy that had been shown and all the power that had been raised is shown. Everyone knew that another being from this planet was appearing. A combination of powers that was closely linked to a goddess of destruction that possessed the energy of destruction combined with the power of Makaioshin demons had just emerged. She was considered the goddess of death. At the time, Isaac's father, being a Saiyan, became involved with the goddess of death. A fruit has appeared, the birth of Zaki. That Saiyan who possessed Makaioshin demonic power combined with the power of a Saiyan comes about. For a moment, considered the most powerful hybrid in his universe. Zaki, after getting old, was considered as the Saiyan son of a demon and was looked down upon by all of his race. Until the day Zaki unleashed his powers and wiped out most of his race. Several collapses that happened between his planets, he began to want to do things his way, destroying everything. By the time Zaki flees his universe because he can't take the Saiyans and Makayoshins anymore, Zaki wanders to Universe 14 and finds Kai, who was considered the hero of everything. Kai says, "Hey boy, if you keep wrecking things here, you'll be disposed of by me. I am the hero of all universes, the angel Kai." At that moment, Zaki starts to laugh and says, "Haha, that means you won't attack me directly. Did I understand correctly? Does he not care about my appearance? Is he giving me the power of choice? Who is this guy? Haha, very good. So let's go. If you manage to defeat me, I will stop destroying everything. Otherwise, I will destroy you and everyone and take this universe for myself." Kai starts to laugh and says, "I think it would be interesting if you were defeated by me to follow me. You're not really a bad guy. I can feel it deep in your heart. After all, I am a hero. You would definitely learn a lot more things on your journey, and I, as a hero, have an obligation to protect everyone, and even you who are the evildoers." At that instant, Kai and Zaki begin to have a battle. The battle that lasted 100 days. All universes began to shudder. Several planets for several days suffered earthquakes and people could not leave their homes, all due to the blows that collided between Zaki and Kai. Even Zaki being a Saiyan hybrid and Kai being an angel, the two managed to fight on equal terms. Kai was more and more impressed and happy with Zaki's performance in the fight. Kai was weakening. Zaki also didn't have much energy until the moment the two give the last punch. At that moment, Kai goes to the ground. In a few moments, Zaki's body is thrown away. Kai stands up and says, "This fight was fantastic." Zaki remains on the floor, laughing, and says, "That was fantastic. Now you could eliminate me." At that moment, Kai observes and speaks. "I think you got it wrong. Maybe you can still be a hero. You have to understand the meaning of a hero. I could never eliminate you. After all, heroes save lives and don't end them. He could have only misunderstood things. Come on, follow me. You are very strong. From now on, we will be the heroes of this universe, and we will fight to protect this universe at all costs." Back to current times, Gohan watches and speaks. "It means then that you were always beside the angel of Universe 14. Are you that strong? Interesting. An angel fought you for 100 days. You managed to fight an angel for all that time and still came out alive." Zaki starts laughing and says, "I fought Kai during that period, but I'm sure now I would be able to defeat him. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's settle this soon. You already know too much about me, son Gohan." At that moment, Gohan sees Piccolo being thrown away by Banzerot. Banzerot appears in front of Zaki and says, "I see you're in need of help, Zaki. Looks like you're too weak, having trouble defeating this guy." "Zaki, I see you talk too much. Let's finish this Saiyan soon." At that instant, a huge explosion happens in Universe 7. Broly had already activated his Berserk form and says,
I'm tired of these destruction cats. Let's go save Goku soon. Gohan needs help. Tell me, who do I have to defeat?"
Banzerot starts laughing and says, "Let's see. Looks like we have another unexpected visitor here." Broly finally appears on the battlefield. Finally, the strongest Saiyan appears and prepares for his first battle. Broly had defeated several Doom Cats. The power of the Saiyan who is considered the strongest Saiyan is finally shown. Banzerot is surprised and says, who is this guy? Does that mean then that he is one of those Saiyans who had great power to show? Alright, I think I've heard of a Saiyan like that a long time ago. Does that mean that you have a latent power even greater than Goku's? It will be very interesting to crush you now. This way it will be clear that I am the strongest Saiyan. Goku will spend some time cooling off with Shiva. That is, if he makes it back from the place I sent him. If he comes back, I'll finish him off as soon as I defeat you. At that moment, Broly directly activates his Super Saiyan transformation. Broly watches and speaks. It means that you are this guy who is causing problems here for the warriors of this planet. I've been watching your movements, and I confess that your strength for me is nothing. You look like a harmless dog that won't stop barking, and when you get close to it, it starts to get scared. Let's start. At that moment, Piccolo was lying on the floor. Piccolo says, Looks like this guy is really strong. I really didn't even have time to show my full power, and this guy managed to defeat me before that. Is this a power of a true Saiyan god? By that outfit, he sure is a god of destruction. I can't imagine what the power level will be. Gohan is fighting this guy. This shape, this hair color, and this skin are totally different. It looks like he's hiding something. I wonder what's going on. Alright, let's go, Gohan. I trust you in this battle. I need to recover. At that moment, Zaki observes and says, What's going on here? Who is this guy? Did he just show up without us being able to detect his presence? Gohan starts laughing and says, If I were you or if I were Banzerot, I would be scared because he's about to face Broly. He who has already caused great meltdowns in every battle, and his fury is acclaimed even by the god of destruction of our universe. Broly is the strongest Saiyan. Banzerot prepares to move forward and attack Broly. Broly in a few moments remembers his training alongside the Great Priest and Goku. At that moment, Broly starts to smile and says, It seems that thanks to this training, I can now see. I can feel the enemy's next steps for light years. Thank you very much, Goku. Thank you, Great Priest. Now I possess the true mastery of the Force. That moment, Banzerot will attack with a punch approach to the face. Broly, in a few moments, uses the mastery of the Berserker instinct, dodging all the blows that Banzerot tried to hit. Banzerot says, What is that? Impossible. How is he managing to read my movements? This sequence of blows, not even Zaki could get rid of it. What's going on here? Gohan and Piccolo watch and say, What? How is this possible? Did Broly make it this far into the training base? He has this ability. When did you learn that, Broly? Broly starts laughing and says, While I trained with Goku and Daishinkan, I could observe the mastery of Ultra Instinct that Goku was able to follow the movement of angels. But in order to be able to perform this skill, the user's ki must always have a constant calmness. And I knew that my ki would never. It would be something that was part of me. That's why the Great Priest explained to me that I would discover my instinct myself. Until the moment I woke up the Berserker instinct. Now I have all the power I need. Let's get started. Grand Priest Palace. The Great Priestess Zaki continues face to face with Daishinkan, and the two are staring at each other insanely. The two are watching the celestial war that was taking place. Zaki says, Looks like Goku and Vegeta are practically out of the game, isn't it, Daishinkan? Now see what your Saiyans are managing to do. Absolutely nothing. Already in Universe 11, it seems that things are even more complicated. At that moment, directly in Universe 11, Margarita was thrown into the rubble of the planet. Topo was lying on the floor. Belmont had his king and joker cards torn up. At that moment, Jiren was almost exhausted. Jiren says,
How could this happen? What race is this guy? I cannot understand. He looked like he was at a disadvantage, but he was and managed to nullify Belmont's power. From the information I had, this would only be possible if he was hiding the game and can nullify any type of divine ability. He said that he could only destroy the energy of angels, but now for all that was shown, he managed to cancel even the powers of Belmont, the god of destruction. The energy of destruction doesn't work against this guy either. Topo ended up losing his power. It looks like the burden of this fight will fall on me.
Belmont, lying on the ground, watches and says, Jiren, it seems that we did not know this information. Belmont's powers were lost. I lost my powers because he hid it all this time, that any celestial energy he can nullify. I wonder what's behind it. But you are special, Jiren. Your power is different. Now we know that it is not angelic power and not any kind of destruction power either. Perhaps you are the only one in this universe who can win. At that moment, Ziel starts to laugh and says, You've got to be kidding me. Do you think you will really be able to do something here? It's no use. My powers are much higher. My power of destruction is the strongest power there is. You will never be able to do anything. At that instant, a great explosion and collapse takes place among all the universes. Goku directly into the unknown galaxy alongside Vegeta fighting the bloody angel Shiva begin to observe. Gohan, Broly and Piccolo notice a huge explosion light years away from where they are. At that moment, Gon, who was fighting Kai, also noticed. The universe was practically being erased. At that moment, we can observe a big laugh. Ha 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 ha! I said these gods are extremely weak. None of them can do anything. I didn't want to fight the angel of this universe. After all, it would be too boring, wouldn't it, Zyros? At that moment, Zyros, the angel of Universe 13, starts to laugh and says, Looks like you've already wanted to test your powers here, isn't it, Zyko? At that moment, Zyko, the Supreme Saiyan God of Universe 17, is watching everything that happens and says, I said I was going to finish them off one by one, so soon the great battle will begin. No one will be able to defeat me. My power is the greatest. Stay tuned to everything that will happen, Zyros. At that instant, directly in Universe 11, Jiren starts watching and says,
It looks like Universe 1 is about to be totally eradicated. How is this possible in such a short time? Who is this being that is showing this power?
At that instant, Ziel notices something and says, Ha ha ha, this is certainly the work of Zyko, the Supreme Saiyan. Very interesting. So that means that now all that's left is for me to finish all of you here. Mortal, give up soon. This will be the end of you. At that moment, Jiren starts to laugh and says,
I've always fought extremely powerful villains, and I was chosen as the savior of this universe was no accident. I always try to overcome my limits each time, and a certain warrior after all this time taught me that there are no limits to our strength.
The image of Goku comes into Jiren's head. Jiren says,
I held on to that power for a long time. Now you will meet him.
At that moment, Belmont watches and speaks. Ha ha! You mean he's going to use that power? What is Jiren hiding? Back to planet Earth. At that moment, Broly, activating the mastery of the Berserker instinct, combining with his Berserker form, lands several blows on Banzerot. Banzerot starts to get more tired and worn out in battle. At that moment, Zaki fights against Gohan with great ease and starts to laugh and says, Looks like you're having a hard time fighting this Saiyan. You discredit things too much, don't you, Banzerot? Banzerot responds, Be quiet, Zaki. I'm just warming up. At that moment, Piccolo sees that Gohan was having a hard time in the battle. Piccolo hears a voice inside him saying, "Show your true Namekian power. Show your true skill. Come on." Piccolo wonders,
Who are you? What's happening?
At that moment, Kami-sama's image pops into Piccolo's head. Soon after, a vision of another being appears. This being says, "I am the creator of everything, the creator of the super spheres and the Namekian race. Receive some of my power. You, the one who for a long time was the Kami-sama of the land." Piccolo embodied the spirit of the legendary Namekian god. What's going on with Piccolo? What is being shown in the face of all this? The spirit of the strongest being is embodied in Piccolo. What happens and why is Piccolo being shown this way? At that moment, Piccolo saw that Gohan was not able to hold his own in his fight against Zaki. At that instant, Piccolo interferes with the battle. Piccolo says,
Gohan, I'll cover for you. Come with me. Follow in my footsteps from the same fight we had against Cell Max, and we'll beat this guy. Strength will never count if you don't have a strategy in battle. Let's defeat this guy together, just like we did with Cell.
Piccolo kept hearing voices in his head and trying to understand. Piccolo thinks,
What's going on here with me? This doesn't make any sense. Stop talking nonsense. I don't need any power. All my power was released when I asked Shenron to release my latent power, so this cannot possibly happen. Wait, could it be that when I made the wish to Shenron, it was only bits of my latent power that were released? Come on, Gohan, let's finish this guy off.
Zaki starts laughing and says, "Does that mean you think it's going to be that easy? Do you think you can defeat me? You make me laugh. A Saiyan and a Namekian. Come on, show me what you're capable of." At that moment, Gohan begins to raise his power alongside Piccolo. The two try to attack Zaki directly. Zaki, with great mastery, begins to dodge all the blows that were being shown. Zaki's Ultra Instinct appeared to be superior even to Goku's. At that moment, Zaki attacks and hits Gohan's belly and continues advancing until he lands a punch in Piccolo's face. Gohan and Piccolo fall to the ground. Gohan says, "This guy seems to be pushing me to the limit. His powers don't even compare to any enemy we've fought. Maybe I have to use the last resort." Gohan begins to remember the training he had with the Great Priest. Flashback of Gohan training alongside Vegeta against the Grand Priest. The High Priest says, "You two are amazing warriors, Sir Gohan and Sir Vegeta. But your energies, unlike Son Goku's, need a lot of fury to get stronger. Maybe it would be interesting for you to combine your powers alongside the calm of your hearts. Your latent power is incredible, Gohan. You should work on that side more." Gohan and Vegeta are training for days in Zeno-sama's palace until the moment a great explosion of energy happens. The High Priest says, "As expected, you really made it." Gohan responds, "Daishinkan, it seems I managed to raise my powers much higher. After this training, I'm sure Vegeta also managed to get much stronger. But still, it looks like something is off. Every time I raise my energy to that stage, my power ends up being completely depleted. After using this attack, it seems that I lose all my energy." At that instant, the High Priest says, "This blow is a two-edged sword. After you use it, you won't be able to fight for about 1 hour. So, if you don't defeat the enemy with this blow, you will definitely be killed in the fight." Gohan begins to reflect. Gohan's powers were being raised more and more. But Gohan says, "Does this mean that this will be my last card? I need to get stronger and stronger so I don't have to use this skill. If I fail to defeat the enemy with this blow, it will be the end of me." Okay, a bit risky. A new type of transformation and my Beast 2 form might make a difference. But I still can't control it 100%. I'm going to need to put together the real strategy for this fight. At that moment, Gohan raises his energy more and more, and Piccolo starts to be fascinated.
Amazing, Gohan. You are showing your true energy.
The moment Piccolo lets his guard down in battle, Zaki attacks him and pierces his belly. Piccolo falls to the ground. Gohan doesn't understand what happened to Piccolo. At that moment, a voice over Piccolo comes up again and says, "Come on, accept my power. My power is your power. Let's show what we're really capable of." At that moment, Piccolo, with his body completely knocked down, says,
"If I accept his power, will we be able to take this guy down?"
At that moment, a great laugh arises. Gohan is in a state of shock watching Piccolo, and he sees that Piccolo's body was changing color to a bluish color and lightning was appearing over his body. The power of the legendary Namekian god surged over Piccolo's body. At that moment, Banzerot, who was fighting Broly, starts to wonder when he sees the difference that had happened with Piccolo and says,
"I didn't know that beings of the Namek race could get so powerful."
Piccolo, with his increasing power, begins to laugh and says,
"Ha ha ha! This power is amazing. Does that mean then, what is it?"
Piccolo begins to remember all the fights he has ever had, and in his mind begins to remember when he fought Goku. Piccolo says,
"It's Goku. When we fought when we were young, our powers were very similar. I was even consumed by evil wanting to dominate the earth. But time passed, you managed to become much more powerful, and even I increased my powers. I was behind you and all the other Saiyans. It seems like yesterday all this happened. I couldn't do anything against Majin Buu, and even less when the destroyer Beerus appeared on Earth. I knew this needed to change. After all, I am a warrior. I started to realize after the fight against Cell Max that maybe the power I showed wasn't all my strength. It makes me very happy to know that I can increasingly overcome my limits. There are no limits to determination. Now I know that with this power that I have, no one else can stop me."
Piccolo starts laughing insanely. Zaki watches and says, "What is this guy laughing at? Because his eyes and skin have changed? I'm starting to consider these Universe 7 mortals a real problem. They seem to be defeated and soon after they raise their powers to levels that maybe even they wouldn't believe. But it does not matter. Receive my ultimate attack, Dark Aura of the Makaioshin realm." In a few moments, Piccolo appears in front of Zaki and kicks him, causing Zaki to be thrown into the rubble of the earth. Fascinated Gohan says, "Mr. Piccolo managed to regenerate, and now with his new form, he is winning the battle. Mr. Piccolo, you are amazing."
Piccolo, smiling, says, "Haha, let's start, God of Destruction of Universe 14.
Piccolo, the Namekian god who managed to receive the power of the being who claimed to be the legendary Namekian god. What was really happening to Piccolo? Piccolo starts landing several blows on Zaki. Piccolo starts to show a great energy that was being raised over his body. Big blows begin to fall. At that moment, Zaki starts talking. "What happened to this guy? This is a bit strange. He managed to get much stronger, and in a short period of time. In fact, he looked like he was dead just a few minutes ago. It even seems like he's not even the same person he's fighting. How does this guy manage to do this? It's getting interesting." At that moment, Gohan starts watching and says, "Mr. Piccolo is amazing. He's getting to fight this guy, maybe even more than everyone else. Did Master Piccolo have all this power and had he hidden it all this time?" At that moment, Piccolo begins to reflect and remembers the last training he performed in the Room of Time. Reflecting on the powers that were shown, Piccolo has a small flashback in his mind of his planet Namek. Piccolo could see that among the Namekians there were many formidable warriors who used to display their powers in a very high way. Piccolo watches and says,
"The legend of the legendary Namekian warrior. No one would ever be able to defeat this warrior. He would have the necessary power to end any enemy that appeared there. It was said in the past that after a being of the Namekian race reached the maximum limit of his strength, he would be able to break the barriers of overcoming, becoming the new Namekian god. But Piccolo that this power was fleeting. He wouldn't be able to use this skill in a battle for more than 3 minutes. It was said that the true legendary warrior would only need that much time to defeat the enemy. Back to present times, Piccolo starts to land several blows, putting pressure on Zaki. Banzerot observes and speaks. What's happening? Soon you suffering for a warrior like that? Zaki observes and speaks. I don't understand. This guy was practically knocked down. How did he manage to show so much strength? At that moment, Zaki starts laughing and says, Haha, that's why he's fighting. He is wanting to end this battle very quickly. It looks like he should have some time for his powers to return to normal in this fight. At that moment, Gohan steps forward to attack Zaki along with Piccolo, but Piccolo says, Gohan, stay out of this. See how a real warrior should fight and behave in a battle against the enemy. Gohan finds his master's words strange. In a few moments, Piccolo teleports and hits Zaki's belly. Zaki is lying on the ground. Piccolo says, With that power, I became a practically invincible being. You will never be able to do anything against me. Just as Piccolo was about to thank Zaki for the final blow, his powers ran out. Piccolo says, What? Impossible. The 3 minutes haven't passed. What happened to my god energy? Zaki starts laughing and says, Just in time, as I imagined. You don't have 100% control of this power. At that moment, Zaki changes the shape of his face and creates an ultimate attack. Zaki says, Haha, Fist of Destruction. Zaki hits Piccolo in the belly. Piccolo lands on the ground with his belly pierced in front of Gohan again. Piccolo looks at Gohan and says, I'm sorry, Gohan. I failed you. Piccolo is dead. Gohan speaks. Do not. It's not possible. It cannot be. You as well? Master Piccolo, stand up please. Use your Namekian regeneration skill. Come on, Mr. Piccolo. Please. At that moment, Gohan noticed that Piccolo didn't hear his voice anymore. Zaki, smiling, says, Calm down, son Gohan. Soon I will send you to the same place I sent your master. Gohan gets mad. Gohan was no longer the same. The whole earth starts to shake. Zaki and Banzerot are watching. Daishinkan Palace. Zakai watches and speaks. It looks like one of his mighty warriors has already been eliminated. Now it's just a matter of time before they're all killed. Daishinkan responds. Oh, that you are wrong, Zakai. The Namek warrior's death will lead to a big bang. This explosion of feeling of sadness and fury will make the Saiyan hybrid awaken his fury. Zakai, with an impressed face, says, What? Impossible. On the other side of Earth, while Gon was fighting Kai, Kai is amazed and says, What kind of energy is this? Back to Gohan and Zaki's location. Gohan says, Now I will have no pity for you, Zaki. The warrior of prophecy. The warrior who once surpassed all and saved the land. The warrior who had reached the limits of Saiyan level after showing his fury. That kind of Saiyan hybrid who, after increasing his powers more and more, managed to develop his skills even more and even at a young age. He had the responsibility of deciding the future of the earth in his hands. Overcoming everyone and becoming the last hope of the earth in the absence of his father. He stayed for years fighting different enemies, always protecting his loved ones. As a child, he spent very little time with his father and was raised by a being of another race. A Namekian who was formerly a member of the family of evil and over time changed his personality, becoming another friendly being. That boy who never wanted to fight but was always involved in wars. He always had to raise his power more and more and show his abilities and what he would be able to do in the midst of so many battles. Son Gohan is Son Goku's son, trained throughout his childhood by Piccolo, the one who was once the family of evil. Piccolo Daimoa, who has shown all his wrath in the past. Piccolo's son Daimoa had become the legendary Namekian. His Namekian god power was limitless. However, due to not being able to master the 100% powers of the Namekian god,
Piccolo ended up losing his powers in the middle of the battle against Zaki and had his body pierced by the Saiyan hybrid god of destruction of Universe 14. Piccolo was lying on the ground in front of Gohan. Gohan once again sees his mother's death in front of him. Gohan becomes enraged and begins to unleash his fury like he never has before. Gohan says, "It can't be. I couldn't have let that happen. I was so happy seeing Mr. Piccolo's new powers that I didn't end up realizing that his energy was wearing out very fast, and because of that he's..." Zaki starts laughing and says, "That will be the end of you, boy. You will go to the same place where this Namekian is going." At that moment, Zaki steps forward and tries to land a punch directly in Gohan's face. At that moment, a huge explosion happens. Gohan takes the punch from Zaki and doesn't feel a thing. Gohan in a few moments hits a punch in the face of Zaki and says, "I will never forgive you. You will pay for everything you did to Mr. Piccolo." The Grand Priest's palace. At that moment, the High Priest observes and says, "It seems that you eliminated one of Son Goku's friendly warriors, and with that resulted in Son Gohan's fury. Are you proud of it, Zakai?" Zakai starts to laugh and says, "I don't care. Keep in mind that Zaki and Banzerot powers are extremely limitless. You're talking about the two gods of destruction that caused the great catastrophe in the last celestial war. You think they'll be afraid of a random mortal just because he's mad Daishinkan?" The High Priest with a serious face says, "I already told you once. You disbelieve too much of the powers that the Universe 7 warriors have. Universe 7 and the universes protected by Zeno-sama have formidable warriors. Maybe you haven't understood yet what is the essence and power of trusting those who can show the best performance and fight every day against evil in order to protect their loved ones." At that moment, Zakai makes a serious face and says, "What are you talking about, Daishinkan?" At that moment, we can see directly into Universe 11. Jiren attains a new power. Jiren had his face completely different. Jiren has a flashback to the past. Jiren remembers when he was a child and had his race eliminated by a villain. At that moment, Jiren says, "I will never go through a situation like this again. I will get stronger at all costs. In this world, the weak have no place. At least that's how I thought for most of my life. But now, I think differently. If the weak exist, it's because they need protection from the strong, and I will be here to protect everyone this time. In the past, I couldn't show much. In the past, I was defeated, and I couldn't protect them or show all my race. This is a burden I may have to carry forever. I really know what things are going to happen and how everything is going to work out. I always knew everything that happened in the past. But today, I know that I can get more and more powerful, that each time my energy will increase. So I would never give up fighting any enemy. I would never give up on any other being. Now if I fall down here in front of all my friends, who can save them all? Who will be able to resolve this whole situation? I don't have much to say. I just can't be beaten by you, ZL." At that moment, Jiren advances towards ZL, and at that moment, ZL tries to nullify Jiren's powers. ZL ends up getting punched in his face. At that moment, Jiren starts to speak. "Just as I imagined, the power of the essence of my race you will never be able to nullify. Your ability only nullifies powers of gods and celestial beings. My race is unknown to many, so you don't have information about my race to be able to channel your energy and prevent my blows. It seems that now the game has started to turn in our favor. I'm sorry to tell you, but your end is near, ZL." ZL watches and speaks. "But what race is this guy? What's happening? This doesn't make any sense. I should be able to nullify the abilities of practically every race. I learned this technique from the first god of the cold demon race. No one should be able to stop my ability. Even the mother of angels, Zakai, is afraid of my power. How is it possible that this is happening?" At that moment, Jiren starts to land several blows on ZL. At that moment, ZL says, "It's not possible. This guy's managing to land these blows on me and he has the biggest advantage in the battle. If this fight continues like this, I will end. No, that cannot happen. Does your race have any involvement with the cold demons? Jiren starts laughing and creates a large sphere of energy in his hand and says, Zio, now this will be the end of you. Back to Universe 7. Broly had been fighting Banzerot, having the upper hand in the battle. Banzerot had been receiving several blows and says, It seems that you are totally different from other Saiyans. I thought by sending Goku and Vegeta out of this dimension that there wouldn't be other Saiyans as powerful as them. But apparently I'm mistaken. Haha, I, Banzerot, I hail you the strongest, Broly. Now the time has come for me to start fighting in earnest. At that instant, Broly looks and speaks. What? Wasn't this guy using all of his strength? You damn you, don't you dare play with me. An enraged Broly advances towards Banzerot amidst the light emanating from the Saiyan God. In a few moments, Gohan, after having raised his power, comes down a punch on Zaki. Gohan says, You will never understand the meaning of friendship and always wanting to protect your loved ones. You will never understand that. Zaki starts watching and says, How dare you insult me, Lesser Saiyan? You're mad just because your green father is dead. This is all his own fault, that he was careless in battle. He discovered a new path, and without thinking about the consequences, he ended up spending all his energy. Even worse was you didn't realize that he was at his limit and didn't do anything to protect him. Receive this attack. Aura of Destruction. A great dark energy is released on Gohan that disappears amidst the darkness. Zaki starts laughing. I said you wouldn't be able to do anything about this. I'm Zaki, the god of destruction from Universe 14. No one is capable of defeating me and Kai. You were a fool to think that a mortal as weak as you could do something. His powers were only a little greater than Son Goku's powers, but in reality, you are just outdated Saiyans who haven't developed their powers to the extreme. At that moment, a great light appears. Gohan's voice again emerges. Zaki says, It can't be, as you're still alive. Gohan says, I think you did not understand. I said I won't forgive you and you'll pay for everything you've done. Zaki responds, You wretch, don't you dare brag about the power you've conquered. Take it. Zaki tries to hit Gohan's face, but at that moment, he's stopped and Gohan easily catches his hand. Zaki says, Impossible, like you. At that moment, Gohan angrily lands a furious Saiyan punch on Zaki's face. Gohan says, That's for me and Mr. Piccolo. Zaki is hurled into the rubble of the earth. At that moment, Gohan appears beside Broly and speaks. You need help, Broly. This guy won't be showing up here anytime soon. Banzerot observes and says, Damn you, what did you do with Zaki? While the Z fighters had their tough battles on Earth, Goku and Vegeta were still in the trap that had been set by Banzerot and Zaki. At that moment, Goku alongside Vegeta were having an arduous battle against Shiva, the Bloody Angel. Goku and Vegeta were cornered. At that instant, Goku says, Looks like we're kind of running out of alternatives, Vegeta. Maybe it won't do much good to save energy if we don't make it out alive in a battle. Maybe we have to show her the real instinct of Saiyan Vegeta. Vegeta watches and says, Are you wanting to suggest some sort of fusion or something along those lines, Kakarot? Vegeta starts to smile. Goku watches and speaks. I think the last time we tried to perform the fusion, we didn't have good memories, since while we showed the power of the fusion and those abilities Zaki and Banzerot made us walk into a trap, and that's why we're here. So maybe it's interesting that we show another kind of skill. What do you think? Let's go. I know you've trained with the Great Priest. You sure aren't showing off all your powers, Vegeta? At that moment, Vegeta starts to watch and smile at Goku and says, Haha, but that's just payback for what you put me through a long time ago, Kakarot. Do you remember when you showed Majin Buu Super Saiyan 3, but you didn't show this transformation to me? You just didn't want to defeat me because you had that power.
So this time, even if my existence ends up disappearing, I won't first show all my skills. Come on, Kakarot, I want to see what you really learned from the Great Priest. At that moment, Goku starts to smile and says, I understand. I'm not going to take your reason for this, Vegeta, but maybe with this power I'm going to show you now, it won't even be necessary for you to interfere in the battle. Vegeta starts laughing. At that moment, the staff of the angel Shiva is thrown directly towards Goku and Vegeta. Both Goku and Vegeta manage to escape. Vegeta says, Kakarot, I think you'd better show this transformation exactly because this angel is not playing games with us. At that moment, Goku with all his power raises his strength even more and says, well, now I will show the Infinite Saiyan. Vegeta and the angel Shiva are surprised. What? Infinite Saiyan? Goku had only used the Infinite Saiyan transformation once, which was when he fought Zyko, the Supreme Saiyan God. Goku for a few moments, using the form of the Infinite Saiyan, managed to pressure Zyko in the battle, causing Zyko not to be able to use his true powers. Goku knew that his energy would get higher and higher. Last time, Goku was saved by Vados and showed great power and great skills, causing Goku to be saved, and after that, Goku met his third son, Gohan. Only once was this transformation shown. Soon after, Goku trained with the Great Priest, and in this training, Goku learned several different skills, powers that would be more than important and necessary to be able to evolve his skills more and more. Goku's strength was increasingly being developed after Goku trained directly with the Great Priest. Goku met the priestess Zaki, and the war was close ever since. We still don't know what level Goku managed to reach and how he managed to control his Saiyan power. Vegeta in the unknown galaxy sits on a rock. The angel Shiva watches and says, don't you think that's audacious? You're asking to be the first Saiyan eliminated, sitting while I'm about to end it all here. Well, stay there. Now you will be destroyed. At that moment, Vegeta faces Shiva and says, this fight will now be Kakarot's. He will show what he learned from the Great Priest. If you want to attack me, you can attack. I won't do anything. That's our Saiyan way of solving things. Shiva looks at Vegeta and says, so this is what you want. Now will be your end. The moment Shiva steps forward to attack Vegeta, Shiva creates a huge burst of energy. At that moment, Goku steps in front of Shiva's attack, and Goku says, Shiva, don't get me wrong, but I won't let you attack Vegeta. Now you will know the true power of Universe 7 Goku. At that moment, Goku increases his strength more and more, and activates the Infinite Saiyan transformation once more. His silver hair and the pupil of his whitish eyes, the strength of the Ultra Instinct aimed at his body. Vegeta watches and speaks. So does that mean that it was the power you achieved? How are you with Ultra Instinct? Can I consider what you consider as a second level of Ultra Instinct, right? Goku, after performing this transformation, advances directly in front of Shiva. Shiva tries to attack Goku, but he can't because the mastery of Ultra Instinct starts to be elevated more and more. At that instant, Shiva says, this is impossible. It seems that the skill, the powers he's showing are pretty much involved in the same way as the angels themselves. I can't figure it out. How can this happen? It doesn't make any sense. What kind of skills are these? At that moment, in a few moments, Goku's skill starts to increase more and more. Goku dodges all of Shiva's blows and starts landing a string of punches on the bloody angel's body. All the wounds that Goku had from all the battles started to heal. Goku was no longer the same. At that moment, Goku lands a big punch on Shiva's belly, causing the bloody angel's belly to be pierced. Goku again has a small flashback in his head of his training with Daishinkan in the Celestial Palace. Goku says, this transformation I achieved is fantastic, Great Priest. Combining Saiyan power with Ultra Instinct makes my energy become an angelic energy. Daishinkan looks at Goku and speaks. Well done, son Goku.
Really, with this transformation, for a certain time, you reach formidable powers, being able to even be equal to or exceed the strength of several gods. But remember, when you fought Jiren in the Tournament of Power, at that time when you were about to launch the final blow on Jiren and he himself had already assumed defeat, your body could not withstand the power of Ultra Instinct and you were to the ground. You fought with Ultra Instinct against Jiren for only 3 minutes. With this transformation, you would have a short period of time to finish the battle. Otherwise, you will suffer the same side effects as before, and your body will be in pieces in the fight, giving extreme advantage to the enemy to win. Think about it a lot, because you will have problems if the enemy is still standing after you use this form. Goku responds, I understand, Great Priest, so I can only use this power as a last resort. Although if I use this transformation, it is because I will already be in a very delicate situation. So if I can't defeat the enemy with this transformation, it is because I really won't have any other choices. Haha. Back to current times. Goku looks at Shiva, who was lying on the ground, and creates a large superior dragon fist and lunges at Shiva and says, This is your end. Shiva receives Goku's greater dragon fist in full. Shiva starts laughing and speaks. We'll see you again, Son Goku. Shiva's body starts to fall apart. Vegeta watches and speaks.
You mean all of that power, and that wasn't the true body of the Angel of Universe 18? Was that just a clone of her? We will need to be more careful.
Goku in Infinite Saiyan form. In the galaxy that was unknown and full of darkness, a light begins to emerge. Vegeta watches and speaks.
I thought that with this we would be able to learn all our power and be able to get out of here, but it feels like we're still here. How do we get out of here?
Goku watches and speaks. Haha, we need to think of something, Vegeta. It reminds me of when we got stuck in Majin Buu's belly. Well, maybe we just have to locate another presence on another planet to get to Earth. At that moment, when Goku and Vegeta were preparing to perform the teleportation technique, a voice comes up and says, Please don't leave here. Help me. Goku and Vegeta hear the voice and say,
What is it? Who's there?
The unknown voice says, Please release me from here, Son Goku. Goku and Vegeta were about to leave the unknown galaxy after defeating the bloody angel copy of Shiva of Universe 18. At that moment, Goku and Vegeta were very close to returning to Earth. However, a voice appears on the planet of the unknown galaxy. The unknown voice says, Please help me, Goku. Please, I need to go with you. I will be of great help in the war. Whose voice is this? Who is really asking Goku and Vegeta for help? Is this another threat? Another trap from the gods of the past? At that moment, we can see that Goku had a question in his head. At that moment, Goku speaks. Who are you? Where is your voice coming from? Vegeta, are you hearing that voice too? Vegeta responds.
Looks like this might be one of those traps, Kakarot. We can no longer let our guard down in this war.
The unknown voice says, I will be of great help to you. I have all the answers you need. Please release me from here. At that moment, Goku observes and speaks. I feel like that voice doesn't want to bring out our bad side, Vegeta. I feel like it really might need help. Think with me. The bloody angel really believed she was going to beat us. Maybe she didn't expect us to make it out of this. Remember that Banzeroth said while we were on Earth that they didn't want to kill me, but to capture me. And what if they try to do the same thing with the being that is asking for our help? Maybe he will be a big help for us to get out of this galaxy. At that moment, Goku observes and says, Where does your voice come from? The unknown voice speaks. I'm going to raise a little more of my energy so you know where I am. Please teleport here and save me from this prison. Vegeta watches and speaks.
Kakarot, stop being an imbecile. This is clearly a trap. Remember everything that happened since this war started. First those two warriors, Zaki and Banzeroth, started to fight together. Then you let your guard down to Banzeroth that if I hadn't appeared, you would be in a critical situation. Then we tried to carry out the fusion, and they already had a sealing technique in case we wanted to combine those powers. Stop making mistakes. You never listen to me. I don't even know why I try to work things out here with you. I should let you do these things and just beg for help.
At that instant, Goku says, "Trust me, Vegeta, I know that voice is speaking the truth." The unknown voice says, "Thank you so much, Son Goku." The unknown being begins to raise its power more and more. At that moment, we can see that Goku and Vegeta teleport to the location where the energy of the unknown voice came from. At that moment, Goku and Vegeta are surprised to see a being with horns, long hair, and greenish skin. Goku asks, "Who are you anyway?" The unknown being says,
"Thank you so much for coming here to help me."
The unknown being was all chained up in the rubble of the unknown galaxy. The unknown being says,
"I am the Supreme Dragon God of War."
The Supreme Dragon God was trapped in the unknown galaxy where Goku and Vegeta had been sent. What's really going on here? Goku watches and says, "But how did you get here? Wait, I'll release you." At that instant, Vegeta speaks.
"Kakarot, don't do that. We don't know who this guy really is. You don't pay attention to things, do you? We don't know what race this guy is, nor what his true objective is. You have the idea that he was watching all this time the trap that Shiva put us and didn't say anything. After Shiva disappears, he appears. This is strange. You need to listen to me. You are very hard-headed. Remember when you fought Frieza? You thought he would redeem himself, and after letting your guard down, you almost died for it. Don't make that mistake again."
Goku starts laughing and says, "Wait, Vegeta, it cost nothing for us to save him. If he was a bad guy and really wanted to attack us, it would be much easier for him to attack us from behind, wouldn't it? Why would he ask for our help and then turn against us? That doesn't make sense, Vegeta, haha. But even so, if he decides to attack us this time, you are the only one who will show his real strength, right? After all, you said you have more powers than my Infinite Saiyan." Vegeta just watches angrily. At that moment, Goku breaks the chains with his magic of the Infinite Saiyan that were controlling and imprisoning the Supreme Dragon God. The moment the Supreme Dragon God is released, a great light begins to appear directly in the unknown galaxy. A great energy emanated causes Goku and Vegeta to be thrown away. Vegeta says,
"I told you, Kakarot. This looked very much like a trap. This guy's energy is formidable. It looks like we're in trouble again."
At that moment, Goku and Vegeta are impressed by the power of the Supreme Dragon God. The Supreme Dragon God appears in front of the two and says,
"I'm finally free. I can't believe it. My power has been yearning for revenge all this time. I can't believe it. All of you will pay me. After millennia, after so long, so many things happened, and finally I'm back. This time I can do what's right. Everyone will see that I am not a traitor. This is fantastic."
Goku and Vegeta give each other a serious look and get into a fighting stance. The Dragon God looks at Goku and Vegeta and starts laughing.
"Stay calm. I think I was too happy because I was free. Thank you so much for saving me. I just wanted to demonstrate now a little of my power. Thank you very much."
Vegeta seriously looks and says,
"You mean that was just a little bit of this guy's power?"
Goku starts to smile and says, "I said he wasn't a bad being, Vegeta." Moments after, the Supreme Dragon God of War says,
"It seems that you are in a battle, and it is against those universes that were erased by Zeno-sama in the past. I think Daishinkan would like to know that I'm back."
At that instant, the Supreme Dragon God reveals his name.
"My name is Zephyr. I am the Supreme War Dragon God who fought in the Heavenly War millennia ago." But I was imprisoned by the angel Zaki in the past, and since then I stayed here until I was released by you today. Isn't that funny? It seems that you were sent here by fate. How the universes had been erased by Zeno-sama. This location of mine was unknown, and after millennia, you released me. Now I know who I can serve. Vegeta watches and speaks. Who can you serve? But what happened in the past? At that moment, Zephyr speaks. You need to understand that there are several extremely powerful beings, maybe even more powerful than the angels. One of these races would be the race of dragons. The race where extremely powerful beings existed who fought in the past celestial war against the Great Priest. Zaki knows this and will probably want to bring them all back. At that moment, everyone didn't quite understand what was going on. Goku says, "But if dragons are fighting on Zaki's side, why didn't you fight alongside them?" At that instant, the Dragon God of War says, "I have always been considered the Dragon God of War, the dragons of fear, but I never agreed with the ideals of many dragons. My ideals were very similar to those of the Great Priest, and that's why I was exiled from my race. I was the only dragon that was beside the High Priest in the past." At that moment, Goku says, "So you are the most powerful dragon?" At that moment, Zephyr starts to laugh and says, "No, of course not. The most powerful dragon is the one that surpasses even the power of angels. It's my brother Zalama, the creator of the Super Dragon Balls." Goku and Vegeta are impressed. Goku says, "What? Is your brother the creator of Universe 6's spheres, which can summon the giant golden dragon?" Zephyr says, "Haha, so you know Super Shenron." That's right. My brother is the fearless dragon Zalama. Now I will tell the truth of it all to you. Center of the unknown galaxy of universes. Goku, after having shown his transformation of the Infinite Saiyan combined with the Ultra Instinct, impressed Vegeta and at the same time managed to eliminate the clone of the angel Shiva. But at that moment, a voice had appeared and asked for Goku's help. When we least expected it, the Dragon God of War, Zephyr, showed his identity, the one who fought the beings that were the most powerful in the past celestial war and for some reason was helping the Great Priest. So far we know that dragons were enemies of angels and Zeno-sama, but for some reason the dragon Zephyr showed to be beside Daishinkan and to like the Great Priest. What secret is behind all of this? The Dragon God brother of Zalama, the creator of the Super Dragon Balls. The one who with only his army managed to conquer several planets and different races. Zephyr, the Dragon God of War, revealed his identity and revealed himself to be the brother of the creator of the Super Dragon Balls. What does Zephyr want with Goku and Vegeta? Why was he trapped in a place at the center of universes? At that instant, in the unknown galaxy, Zephyr says, "I need to reveal to you everything that happened in the past. However, I realize that your key reminds me of a certain someone, Son Goku. A man who helped me fight my own race and many other beings in the celestial war of the past." At that instant, Goku starts to watch and says, "Do I look like someone you've met? Would someone be green like you? Not even though that doesn't make sense." Vegeta watches and speaks. "Don't be an idiot, Kakarot. Who are you talking about?" Zephyr responds, "I need to clear my doubts before that. Maybe it's not the time for me to reveal who this being was. But Son Goku, allow me. Grant me a fight so I can show off my performance, and I can test your powers to see if you really are the Saiyan I'm thinking of." Vegeta starts watching and says in his mind, What is this guy thinking? What is he really doing? We are in the middle of a war, practically without knowing where we are, and at any moment we can be caught by an enemy, and inexplicably a humanoid dragon appears in front of us chained and then starts talking about things from the past and a more powerful race than that of angels. This story is very strange. Kakarot is still very stupid and innocent. I need to prepare myself in case he lets his guard down as usual. I will show this dragon the true power of the Prince of Saiyans. It looks like he wants to test Kakarot's powers. This doesn't make any sense. What is he suspecting? Or what will be his true objective? I will look into all of that. In any other situation, I will eliminate it myself. Universe 11. Jiren was fighting Ziel. Margarita managed to recover his energy and used her powers to heal Toppo and Belmont, who were there watching. Ziel and Jiren started to fight. Jiren had a more reddish aura over his body and his powers were increasing. His eyes and skin had darkened more. Jiren says, "It doesn't matter to me who you are or if you can nullify the power of any other race. I will end you by showing you your true essence. I am Jiren the Grey from Universe 11, the real hero." At that moment, Ziel starts to laugh and says, "This is fascinating. Not even the angels could fight me. Does that mean that a mortal like you is fighting on equal footing with the supreme god of destruction? I think now I'm going to have to start fighting seriously." Jiren observes and says, "What? Is he going to start fighting seriously now? Yeah, I should imagine he wasn't using all his powers. Ha 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 ha. So now we're going to start." Planet Earth. Several pieces of debris were being thrown. Gon had detected that Gohan's energy had increased, but Piccolo's energy was gone. Gon says, "Damn it, I need to help them." At that moment, a big punch advances towards Gon. Right now, it's Kai. Kai laughingly says, "Ha ha ha, none of that. You will only leave here after you manage to beat me. That is, if you can beat me. You know, I'm actually liking this planet. It would be a shame to destroy it, and it actually goes against all my principles. I think I've got an idea. Once I'm done with all of you, I will become the new hero of the mortals of this universe and become their new savior. All mortals need to be more motivated to live if they have someone to believe in, and they will believe in me." At that instant, Gon speaks. "Damn it, this guy's a pain in the ass. This angelic power really is very high. I can't let that happen." Gon remembers training with Goku and Beerus in the room of the gods. Gon starts to smile and says, "Haha, I know, I'm gonna have to use that." At that instant, straight back to the unknown galaxy, Zephyr looks at Goku and speaks. "Come on, Goku, grant me a battle so I can check and analyze his powers." At that moment, Goku starts laughing and says, "Haha, if that's what you want, I'll show my power to you. I'm sure you're very strong. The nickname of Dragon God of War certainly has great reasons for being given it." As Goku activates his infinite Ultra Instinct form again, Vegeta watches and speaks. "This power that Kakarot revealed is really amazing. Maybe he could be hiding something else. It took him so long to get this transformation under control. Kakarot really is amazing, but this time I learned a power that can surpass even the strongest one. Ha 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 ha. Soon, everyone will see the true power of the great Vegeta." Goku vs. Zephyr. Zephyr prepares to attack Goku. Goku, with the power of infinite Ultra Instinct, tries to use his mastery to dodge Zephyr and then attacks him. But to Goku's surprise, Zephyr manages to dodge his blow. Goku says, "How is this possible? Not even the Angel of Universe 18 managed to escape. How did this guy manage to do this?" In a few moments, Zephyr begins to teleport and move at high speed. Goku tries to dodge and tries to hit Zephyr directly. Zephyr speaks. "That won't defeat me, Goku-san. These scams of yours are very easy to analyze. I believe that the training you carried out was alongside Daishinkan. Even after so long, I still know these moves. A long time ago, I fought many times with Daishinkan before he got the rank of Great Priest. Many of the moves he used, I already knew them. Maybe if you use this technique with any other technique, it would work. But you're fighting with a warrior experienced in Goku-san battles. It feels like all this time I've been sealed away. I still have my powers intact. Glad to know that. In a few moments, Zafir appears in front of Goku and advances his arm with his nails skewered over his neck. Zafir says, "Looks like you're cornered, Goku." Vegeta watches with a serious expression on his face and says, "This guy was just messing with us. Why would a guy with that power be trapped here in this galaxy? What's going on here?" At that moment, Goku starts laughing and says, "Incredible, it's Zafir's power." Goku has a small flashback in his head of his Daishinkan training. Goku remembers that Daishinkan talked about infinite Saiyan levels. Daishinkan says, "Pay close attention to Son Goku, especially in the Celestial War. Many of the beings I fought can appear wanting revenge. Many of them know several techniques that I have. One of them is Ultra Instinct." Goku is impressed and says, "What do you mean, Daishinkan-san? Ultra Instinct doesn't work against them?" Daishinkan responds, "It is not a question of not working, but that they are already prepared to fight Ultra Instinct because they have already developed other techniques to combat these abilities, just as the gods of destruction developed Ultra Ego so as to not be left behind. In this way, as I evolve my techniques, I advise you to evolve your power as well." At that moment, Goku starts smiling and says, "Incredible, Daishinkan-san. Now I know what to do. I'm going to combine the power of Ultra Instinct with my Saiyan power." Daishinkan watches and starts to smile. Back to current times. Goku's energy begins to rise more and more, combined with the power of the Super Saiyan alongside the infinite Ultra Instinct. Zafir lowers his because he believed that the battles had already ended and that Goku had no more strength. Zafir says, "Ha ha 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 ha. Incredible. You even had more hidden powers." When Goku approaches to attack Zafir, Zafir teleports behind Goku and says, "Enough. Only that. Now I could really understand the essence of his power. It's just like that Saiyan from the past." At that moment, Goku observes and speaks. "Who are you talking about?" Vegeta says, "It seems that all this time he was just playing with Kakarot. Who is he talking about? Come on, speak the truth." At that moment, Zafir responds, "Ha ha ha ha. Yamoshi, the legendary first Dragon Slayer Saiyan God." Zafir, the Dragon God, tells Goku about Yamoshi. Goku tries to understand what Zafir was trying to say. Zafir was referring to saying that Goku had the same fighting style as Yamoshi, the former Saiyan God. At that moment, Goku starts trying to understand what was going on and says, "Lord Dragon God Zafir, what are you talking about? Did you just meet a Saiyan in the past who was called Yamoshi, is that it? Did he have a similar fighting style to mine?" At that moment, Vegeta observes and says, "You mean the legend about that Saiyan is true?" Goku says, "Did you know him, Vegeta?" Vegeta watches and speaks. "Shut up, Kakarot. Anyone who was a Saiyan born on planet Vegeta knows the legend of Yamoshi. It was said that Yamoshi was a low-class Saiyan who in the past, after seeing several of his friends fighting, he was no longer able to fight, and when he saw friends of his who were about to die, he became enraged and activated the Saiyan God's power for the first time. He fought bravely and died saving his friends. But since that day, everyone discovered that there was a Saiyan God, who after releasing his powers could defeat any enemy. It is said that no Saiyan has ever managed to overcome his powers. This is how the legend of Yamoshi was enshrined." At that moment, Zafir, the Dragon God, starts laughing in front of Vegeta. Vegeta says, "What are you finding funny? Is there nothing funny about that? That was the legend of Yamoshi." At that moment, the dragon god Zephyr observes and speaks. "Do you really believe that's what Yamoshi was known for? Breaking up a friend's quarrel and dying to save them? Do you really believe this is Yamoshi's story?" It's even embarrassing to talk like that about the greatest warrior in all of history. This has nothing to do with Yamoshi's story. At that moment, Goku and Vegeta watch and notice that Zephyr's face changes. Goku says, "I'm not understanding anything. Who was Yamoshi after all?" Vegeta watches and speaks. "It can't be. What does this guy really know? Come on, tell the whole truth about Yamoshi and explain why you're mentioning him and linking him to Kakarot." At that moment, Zephyr says, "Yamoshi was the supreme god Saiyan who was most regarded as Dragon Slayer god." Goku and Vegeta are amazed and say, "What?" At that moment, Goku and Vegeta were impressed with the words of the dragon god Zephyr. At that moment, Zephyr says, "I'm going to tell you the true story about Yamoshi, and all the information I'm going to pass on will make your future change from now on, Goku and Vegeta. Yamoshi is dangerous to some beings, even today." Goku and Vegeta watch. Zephyr starts to speak. Flashback to millennia ago. At that time, the race of dragons was liberated, possessing extremely strong beings, and all obeyed the orders of their commander Zalama, the most powerful dragon god until then. Several dragons had extremely high skills, and as you may know, today's dragons can fulfill whatever they want and whatever kind of desire they want when. All Dragon Balls are gathered and wishes are granted to those who gather them. Already in the past, they did not need this. Their magical powers were so great that their race was extremely dangerous, and therefore it was considered the race that fulfilled the wish of anyone who wanted it. The big question is that dragons could imagine the reality they wanted and ended up creating another reality with their powers. That was Zalama's true objective, but his plan had not yet occurred due to the angels and Zeno-sama not authorizing these decisions, and the magic of angels, even inferior, was quite high and managed to reduce the powers of dragons. Zalama came to the conclusion that he would have to resolve the issue with the other celestial beings first so that he could defeat them and everything would be free for him to do as he pleased. Time went by. Many warriors were becoming more and more powerful. We could see that the essence of each one was becoming more and more, showing that he could be the possible winner of all the battles in the Celestial War. Zephyr concludes, "As I said, I was considered and had the renown of Zephyr, the dragon god of war. I eliminated several angels and several other beings that were entering the battlefield. My army was considered the most powerful army of all, and I was the second commander of the hour of the dragons of Zalama. My army was practically invincible, but whatever I did, I followed my brother Zalama's instructions." At that moment, Zalama was sitting on the throne of the Palace of Dragons. Zalama smiles and says to Zephyr, "Ha ha 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 ha. I want you to be the commander of all this, my brother. Unleash all your power and wipe out all these angels and heavenly beings. Anyone who appears in front of you must be eliminated. I was too patient for all this time. Now I will no longer put up with the decisions of Zeno-sama and his gods alongside the other celestials. The supremacy of dragons have always been higher. Sometimes these issues of hierarchies when involving other races only serve to generate more conflicts. Tell me why we dragons have to obey other races. We can do whatever we want. Our goal will be to create another version of reality from now, and we will do it the best way. We just need to finish them off. Daishinkan goes against my ideal. I will handle Daishinkan myself. I will finish him off myself. He will never be able to beat me. At that moment, several dragons appear beside Zephyr. Zephyr smiles and says, "But brother, maybe it would be interesting if we tried a peace deal. In this way, we would avoid several deaths, mainly of our friends of our same race. We may have more power than them, but in quantity, they are much more. Perhaps there were unnecessary losses for both sides. A war always leaves several scars." At that moment, Zalima is furious and speaks. "You mean that's what you think? Is this how you want to work things out?" You are very innocent, Zephyr. In a war, there are always several sides, but who comes out as the right one is the last one to stand. Do you think they will accept that our kingdom lives peacefully, knowing all the power that dragons possess? We can make virtually any dream come true and still control all mortals. Even if we're not doing anything, do you think they'll accept it and not try to seal us in? Don't be silly. Sometimes I think you're not even worthy to be my brother. I try to help you, but when you see these behaviors of yours, I don't understand how you still get the reputation of the dragon god of war. I pity your thoughts like you, Zephyr. You disgust me. This will be your last chance. Let's go and create a heavenly revolution. Show that you are a part of the dragon family. At that moment, Zephyr starts to destroy several kingdoms, giving orders to his army, until the moment Zephyr arrives in the kingdom of the Northern Galaxy, where a race of ancient primate warriors lived. Zephyr orders his entire army to destroy the Northern Galaxy. Zephyr stays in his palace, analyzing what would be the next step. Strange, Zephyr, that 4 days had passed and none of the dragons had returned. What had happened? Since there was no news of any of the dragons that had attacked the Northern Galaxy Kingdom. At that moment, Zephyr receives a message from a dragon with extremely serious injuries from the battle in the Northern Galaxy. Zephyr questions himself. Who did this to you? Let's talk about what happened to you. Where are the other dragons in my army? At that moment, the surviving dragon looks at Zephyr and speaks. They're all dead. They were all eliminated by that guy. Zephyr asks, what are you talking about? How many beings were on the side of their enemy to get rid of our army? The weakened surviving dragon says, it was only one man who managed to do that. Zephyr is impressed and says, impossible. Who is this who you are talking about? Who is this guy? At that instant, the surviving dragon in his last moments of life says, Yamoshi, best known as the Dragon Slayer. Zephyr gets angry and says, how dare a being kill my army? These wars must end. But I can't let this go unnoticed. If I don't do anything, it will ruin the dragon's reputation, and we will give openings for more enemy attacks. Yamoshi, right? I will make you regret ever being born. I'll go after this guy. Get ready, Yamoshi.
Goku, Vegeta, and Whis are looking at each other and the atmosphere is tense. An energy of misunderstanding hangs in the air, and Goku is furious. Goku says, we're not toys to be sent around, or taking risk whenever the gods will so. I made up my mind. I will overcome them all, and in this way I will be free. I will free all mortals. Vegeta is impressed with Goku's attitude and can't believe what he just heard, but enters in the middle of discussion and says, well, I don't really identify with Kakarot at all, but this time he's right. Whenever something happens to the gods, mortals pay the price. This cannot happen anymore. Goku then continues to say, Mr. Whis,
I will leave now. And when you meet Mr. Beerus, say so. That soon I will face him, and it will be for the last time.
Goku looks at Vegeta and says, "Let's go, Vegeta." Vegeta responds, "Don't give me orders, you insect." Vegeta touches Goku's shoulder, who concentrates and teleports back to Earth. Arriving there, Goku sees Gohan and the others, and everyone runs to hug Goku and Vegeta. But Vegeta doesn't want to hear about hugs and turns around, crossing his arms, and simply says, all right, just don't come pissing me off." At this point, Gohan starts to tell about all the adventures they had while they were away, and Goku can hardly believe it all. Vegeta is surprised to hear the stories and says, I can't believe Bulma turned into a Super Saiyan. It's dangerous, Bulma. Bulma approaches Vegeta and says,
Don't talk to your wife like that. You who disappeared and now you come with that poker face wanting to teach a moral lesson. Can you explain where you've been all this time?
Vegeta then explained everything that had happened while Gohan and the others watched and listened, along with Goku. And then Bulma starts talking.
So it means you were prized. And you still have the nerve to fight me? You're a delinquent, Vegeta. I don't believe in such a thing. Don't come closer to me. No, don't come closer. No.
Vegeta, after being scolded by his wife, is completely embarrassed and tries to explain himself. Bulma, no, it's not my fault. It was Kakarot's fault, this imbecile. And this discussion goes on for quite some time, until tempers begins to calm down again. And then after explaining, Goku is extremely upset with the position of the gods and says, Guys, we can no longer accept what the gods do, and I decided that I would travel the universes and recruit the warriors who want to face the gods with me. Ever since I got the powers of a god killer, I have doubts whether or not to face the gods. But now I've decided there's no other alternative. Gohan approaches and says, But Dad, if you start fighting the gods, it could cause a war that would end all the universes. And Goku responds, I know, my son, but there's no other way. If we don't fight, at some point all universes will suffer. There's only one choice we have. And now I have powers to stop the gods. Gohan tries to say, But Dad, we should think of another one. Goku stops him and says, Don't worry, none of you need a fight. This is a journey I will walk alone. Everyone is extremely worried, and Vegeta says, Kakarot, what if no one wants to join you? Goku then responds, As I said, Vegeta, this is a path that I will walk alone if necessary. We can no longer lower our heads and simply obey. The only thing I ask is that you protect the Earth in the meantime. Vegeta then responds, This time I won't go with you, otherwise Bulma will get even more mad. But I hope you make it. Goku then confidently says, I'll find a way. Gohan, still dissatisfied, says, Dad, I think I should think better about this. Goku slaps Gohan on the shoulder and says, You don't have to worry if something happens to me. I still have you and Goten to take care of your mother, right? At this point, Gohan lowers his head and says, It's okay, Dad. Good luck in your journey. Goku then uses his teleportation and disappears. As Beerus has not returned yet, Goku's first target would be the nearest universe. After all, there were also a destroyer god Champa, Beerus' brother. Goku had learned to use his god killer power to travel between universes without difficulty, so he could transition between one and other universe, and in this way, Goku decides to go to Universe 6. Meanwhile, in Champa's palace, we see Vados watching as Champa eats hundreds of bowls of food that he had gone to planet Earth from his universe to fetch. And Vados tries to warn him by saying,
Mr. Champa, if you keep eating like this, you end up exploding.
Champa then says, Shut up, woman! He soon brings another bowl. Vados obeys and sees that there is no point of warning him, and so he goes on for a while. Meanwhile, we can observe a small planet where Goku had just arrived. He wanted to meet someone he knew, but he could feel the presence, but he could not locate it. In the distance, we see Hit watching, and then Hit says, Why do I feel Goku's ki? What are you doing here, Goku? Do you want to fight me again? How interesting. I think I'll ask in person. Goku walks across that plane until he hears a familiar voice. Hey, Son Goku. How long has it been? Goku looks to the side and answers. At last I found you. Hit then comes over and asks, What are you doing here? Came here to fight me again? Another round that you would like to lose? Goku responds, Actually, I came here to fight your god of destruction. It then says, oh, I understand. So you finally decided to become a god hunter, have you? Oh, I see. So you decided to become a bounty hunter like me, have you? Goku responds, that's not it. Just tell me how to find him, and stay out of my way. That didn't even look like the Goku we know anymore. The coldness and anger in his gaze made him dangerous and unpredictable. It responds, you changed, Goku. But as it is, I think I owe you one. I'll tell you how to find him. Just travel to the center of the universe. When you're there, concentrate and try to feel the energy of destruction. If you find it, you'll know you found Champa. Goku responds, thanks. I'll be right then. Later, Goku says goodbye to Hit, and they go towards their destination. Goku arrives at the center of the universe, and there he begins to meditate, to concentrate until he feels the energy of destruction and then go towards it. Arriving there, he finds Vados, and when he sees Goku, Vados asks, what are you doing here, Goku? Goku responds, I came to defeat Champa. Vados says, he is sleeping. I can help with anything. Goku responds, wake him up. And then seeing how serious Goku is, Vados decides to do as he asks. Champa wakes up furious and runs towards Goku to find out what was going on, and when he gets there, Goku starts to say, you arrogant gods, you don't understand how to value the power they have, and that's why I'm here, to correct your transgressions like gods. Champa is furious and wants to go after Goku. Vados then says, Mr. Champa, you better watch out. There's something different with his eyes. Goku then says, Vados, take us to a place where we can fight. Vados then hits her staff on the ground and teleports the two to the empty world. And so the two are face to face. Champa asks, what do you want? Goku responds with a smile on his face. I want to defeat you. Just that. Champa laughs. Defeat me? Goku answers. And now it all starts. I'll end you. Goku heads towards him, and Champa goes towards Goku, and an intense glow of a flash takes over the air. A confrontation between Champa and Goku. Goku is furious with the gods, and when he sees Champa going towards him, he activates his God Killer transformation. At this moment, Champa watches and sees the strange form that Goku obtained, and then Champa screams, Hey Goku! Where'd you get that form from? You couldn't do this before! Goku then responds, this transformation is something I got specially to face the gods. Champa then laughs. Dude, you still haven't figured it out, have you? Goku is confused and responds, what do you mean I didn't notice? Champa then says, this way you are is something different from what you think. The more you use it, the more it takes away your lifespan. You are sacrificing yourself absolutely for nothing. Goku looks down at his hand and takes a deep breath, and in thoughts he says, I don't know if it's true, but even if it is, it's too late. I will use it anyway, even if in the end I ended up dying. Goku then looks at Champa and says, that doesn't matter. What really matters is that I can finish you off. Champa then responds, boy, you can try. At this moment, Champa disappears and appears behind Goku. He has his Hakai ready to exterminate Goku, who strikes his hand, causing the attack to dissipate. Champa spins around and lands a punch on Goku's face, who goes backwards. And with his tense aura, he strikes the air and goes towards Champa. Vados, who was watching everything, is impressed with how powerful Goku is. After all, now he's able to fight on equal footing against the god of destruction. Goku exchanges blows with Champa, and everything that exists around them is destroyed in an instant. Champa starts to get out of breath, but he doesn't find gaps in Goku's defense, and after thinking it would be a simple fight, he's starting to regret it. Champa then says, I have no choice but to use my secret weapon. At this point, Champa raises his hand and starts gathering energy for an attack. Goku, who had been sent away with an attack, recovers quickly and says, I'm not going to give you a chance to do whatever you're thinking. Vados then seeing this massive energy that Champa gathers screams,
Mr. Champa, don't do that! This amount of energy will destroy this entire solar system!
Goku quickly flies towards them, but the energy takes on unimaginable proportions, and not only is the solar system in danger, but the entire universe, which at that moment begins to shudder and countless planets begin to disintegrate. Goku then looks around and feels the energy of the entire universe. At this moment, Goku says, "Alright, you can come with everything!" Champa throws the energy sphere that was similar to a Hakai, but it was absurdly giant. All the planets that are around him starts to disappear. Stars are thrown away from that absurd force. It's going with everything on top of Goku, who stretches his arm then to block that attack with his hands. Goku concentrates, and when that powerful energy approaches and is about to touch him, it disappears, causing Goku to understand absolutely nothing. At this point, Goku is confused and says, "Huh? But what was that? Where did the attack go?" And then Goku realizes Champa is behind him, saying,
So you let your guard down, as planned. I want to see you escape from this. Hakai!
Champa fires a Hakai at close range, hitting Goku. Not because he received all the energy of destruction directly into his body, but Goku resists and manages to contain it by making it pass through his body and focus on the palm of his hand. At this point, Goku sighs and says, "Whew, that was very clever, and it's a pity it didn't work," but then throws that Hakai towards Champa, who is hit, but the attack has no effect. However, it was not all. Goku teleports and appears in front of the God of Destruction, and with an extremely powerful concentrated ki in his hand, he unleashes an attack by piercing Champa's chest that begins to agonize and says,
You will never be able to kill a god!
Goku then looks at him with a serious and somber look and says, "Yes, I can, because I am a god killer!" Goku, with his hand inside Champa's chest, used it as an attack he got with his transformation, something similar to the Hakai, but effective against the gods. And when shooting inside Champa's body, it disintegrates from the middle inside out. At this very moment, Goku's transformation ends and he begins to fall. Vados, who is right next to him, quickly grabs him and takes him to safety and starts standing to his wounds. A while passes until Goku wakes up. He's scared and can't understand where he is or how he got there until Vados appear next to him and he says, "What do you want here? Do you want to get revenge for me breaking up the Champa?" She answers,
That's not it. I treated your wounds and stayed here with you while you healed.
Goku asks, "How long have I been unconscious?" And she responds,
Well, let's see. In human time, you were here for about 2 weeks.
Goku is amazed at what he heard and said, "I need to get out of here. I need to go after another god." Vados then says,
That won't be so easy. You killed a deity, and soon you will have to explain yourself to the great Zeno.
Goku then says, "I don't owe anyone an explanation. The gods, the angels, you always think you can manipulate everything however you want, but now it won't be like that anymore." Vados says,
I don't know what your motivations are, but I would like to follow you.
Goku doesn't understand what she means and asks, "Why do you want to follow me?" She answers,
I see that you're not the same Goku as before, and I'm curious to know how you will destroy the gods. I want to be around.
Goku says, "Do whatever you want, but if you try to stop me, I'll fight you too." Vados then says,
Don't worry, I just want to watch.
Goku then responds, "Whatever." Meanwhile, at Zeno's Daishikan's palace, he meets with Zeno-sama to tell him what happened, and when approaching, Daishikan says,
Lord Zeno, Son Goku destroyed a god of destruction. This was a very reckless thing to do. What will you do about it?
Zeno then responds,
I won't do anything. We really needed to replace the current gods. If Goku gets rid of them, at least we don't have to erase them.
Daishikan answers,
And of course, Zeno-sama, I understand.
and the high priest bows to the great Zeno and leaves the palace. Outside the palace, we see huge rocks with spheres on top. But in one of them, one of the spheres is off, while the others emit a glow, each one representing a universe and its respective god of destruction. However, number 6 is off. That is, Universe 6 was collapsing after all. With one of its gods exterminated, the balance has been compromised. Meanwhile, we observe Goku being accompanied by Vados that decided to follow on his journey. Goku is currently roaming the cosmos to find a way to go in search of a new target, to go on a search of a new god so that he can face him. And so, his journey continues. Goku's thoughtful, but even full of doubts, there are no more ways to go back on his decision. After all, he had already become a god killer, because he already used his power to kill a god, so there were no more choices he needed to continue his path. Vados asks,
Son Goku, what is your motivation?
Goku says nothing. Vados tries to create a dialogue, but does not get answers. However, Vados sees that Goku is still weak and says,
Mr. Goku, how about we stop on some planet for a meal?
At that moment, Goku's stomach starts to rumble, and he decides to stop. The universes are now in his hands. Goku and Vados will go on a great journey in search of the gods, and Goku wants to get rid of the burden of being a mere puppet. Goku and Vados are traveling the universe together. Vados obtained the cosmic cube so they could travel through space without worry. Goku is eating because he hasn't eaten in a while, and he's dying of hunger. However, Goku is different. Goku is not the same after everything he's faced. Upon obtaining the form of a god killer, Goku is taken by hatred and his spirit just wants to achieve his goals, to make the gods stop using mortals for their own benefit. Goku has become colder. His personality is more like of a Saiyan. And after meeting his father, Goku realized that to end injustices, he should let the Saiyan within him speak louder. At this moment, Goku is just a being who seeks to find freedom and reach where no one else can. He needs to fight the gods even if it ends up corrupting him or destroying him. But one way or another, he needs to fight. Vados is increasingly intrigued by Goku because she realizes that every second he gets more powerful without training. Wherever he exceeds his limits, he goes further beyond, as if each breath his power is renewed, thus making him stronger. Vados begins to see Goku with different eyes and admires him a little more every moment. And after Goku gets rid of Champa, she sees him as someone capable of battling the gods. The journey continues and Vados decides to ask,
Mr. Goku, where are we going now? Have you thought about what your next step might be?
Goku looks at her with a cold gaze and responds, It doesn't matter. Let's go anywhere. I still need to recover my energies to go after the gods. Vados then says,
Wouldn't you rather talk to Zeno-sama and try to explain yourself?
Goku responds, And what good would that do? Vados then says,
Probably maybe that would help your mission.
And he responds, I don't think it would solve anything. Vados goes on to say,
If Zeno decides to erase you, then there won't even be a way to get where you need to be.
Goku then becomes thoughtful and then responds, Well then, let's talk to Zeno-sama. Vados then decides to take Goku to Zeno's palace so that they can try to find a way out before Zeno decides to erase Goku from starting to hurt the gods. Meanwhile, in Zeno's palace, the High Priest is observing each universe in some kind of technological device and Zeno is playing with a board game. A game very similar to chess, but people are puppets similar to the gods of destruction of each universe. Daishi-kun approaches Zeno and says,
Lord Zeno, Son Goku is coming to us.
Zeno responds,
Oh, that's great! It's been a long time since I last met him.
The High Priest then responds, Really? Well, he will arrive soon. As soon as he arrives, I will bring you to his presence. Zeno says,
All right, I'd like to talk to him.
Sometime later, Goku arrives along with Vados, and the High Priest was at the entrance apparently waiting for them. Daishi-kun says,
Welcome, Son Goku.
I'll take you to Zeno-sama. Goku looks at Vados who just makes a sign with his hand, demonstrating that he didn't know anything, and the two start walking following Daishi-kun. They arrived at the hall where Zeno was. At that moment, Zeno gets excited and floats towards Goku, shaking his hand. Zeno seems to be happy, but Goku only shows seriousness. And suddenly the mood changes. Zeno asks,
Goku, are you not happy to see me?
And he responds, It's not that. It's just, at the moment I don't know what's going on anymore. Zeno then asks,
Goku, well, I have a mission for you.
Goku is surprised and responds, What? What kind of mission? At that moment, a gloomy climate takes over everything. Vados starts to shake and a drop of sweat runs down her face. Zeno approaches Goku's face and looks deeply into his eyes and says,
Destroy all gods of destruction.
Goku is extremely surprised, and Daishikan starts talking.
The gods of destruction are no longer qualified for the position they hold. They are neglecting their duties and always end up harming the development of the universes. The great Zeno-sama heard of Son Goku's desire to stop the gods of destruction, and so he decided to make it official. At this point, you have the freedom to face and defeat each one of them. You are now officially a god killer.
Goku for a brief moment smiles. Vados observes with a serious face. After all, she doesn't quite understand what's going on. At this moment, the High Priest continues to say,
Vados will go with you and accompany you on your journey. I hope you can accomplish the mission you so desire, and after accomplishing it, the great Zeno-sama will choose the new gods.
At this moment, in respect, Goku kneels and says, I will do this.
Vados somehow feels happy because she will be able to accompany Goku.
But not even she knows why she was happy. And then the meeting ends. Goku says goodbye to Zeno and Vados, and he goes on his journey. Goku is sitting inside Kubo with his arms crossed. At this point, he's even more motivated to find the gods. And so he says to Vados, now let's find the next gods of destruction. We have a big mission to accomplish.
Where should we start?
Now where should we start?
Vados then responds,
At this moment, we're close to Universe 8. We can try to find the destroyer from there, and then officially the mission will be started.
Goku responds, okay, let's go. In the Universe 8, Liquids, the god of that universe, was calm on a planet where he could take advantage of doing nothing. After all, working was not his strong point. However, the sky starts to darken. An extremely loud bang makes the planet shudder. And from the middle of the clouds, a cube appears. Inside the cube, Goku and Vados approach. Liquid watches and waits for them to land. When they land, Liquid approaches and asks,
Hey, aren't you the warrior from Universe 7? What are you doing here?
Goku then responds, I came here to defeat you. Liquid starts laughing and says,
How funny. You come all this way to tell jokes. Now, seriously, why did you come here?
Goku responds, Are you seeing me laugh? At this moment, Liquid gets angry, closes his fists and stares with a serious look at Goku. And at this moment he says,
You really think that a mortal trash like you is capable of defeating me, a deity? Don't you dare to say nonsense anymore.
Goku responds, So what do you think you're testing whether your theory is right?
Come over here and I'll show you what I can do.
Liquid is serious. His aura starts to emanate from Goku, then continue his taunts. For a lazy god, you even have a very strong aura. Let's fight a little. I want to see how far I can get. Goku smiles and Liquid gets even angrier. At this moment he says,
Why do you want to face me so badly? It even looks like you're sure you can win.
Goku says,
Really, I'm sure I can win this fight. And I want to fight you for a simple reason. That all the gods of destruction have already caused enough damage in this universe. Now it's time to make them taste a little of their own poison.
But then starts walking slowly, and Goku screams,
Come on! Let's start this fight! Are you scared?
At that instant, Liquid disappears, reappearing in front of Goku, hitting an extremely powerful punch in his face, throwing him away. Goku lands on the ground but quickly recovers and gets back up. At this moment, Goku says,
Finally, we can start.
Goku then transforms into God Killer, and his aura creates an intense glow that makes everything start to shiver. Liquid looks at that appearance and says,
Oh, now I get it. I will finish off here and now.
To be continued. What will be the outcome of this battle between Goku and Liquid? Regardless of what it is more than important that you already expose it here in your comments so that we can enter into the crazy debate. Click the like button, subscribe here to the channel so you don't miss any videos. And that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.